What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 19 of the Floor Spacer podcast. It's Tyler here coming at you from my room once again. It's just after 1 a.m. here on Thursday, the day this episode is going to go out. And it's been a while since I've had to record a disclaimer video in my bedroom because unfortunately, lads, the audio did its thing again. For those that are new here, back in episode 2, I believe, a bunch of our audio sounded like it wasn't corrupted. It just sounded really glitchy. It sounded like we were in the Matrix. We were hearing like these popping and crackling noises. And to this day, we still really don't know why or what causes it. We've had everything checked out. We've had experts take a look at it, and we still really don't know. It's kind of a mystery to us because it really only happens every now and then. I'd say like maybe once, twice a month at most. And typically we catch on to this, like after we record, we test everything, make sure we're good. But this one kind of slipped through the cracks, and we didn't really notice I didn't really notice until about an hour ago when I started editing this thing. So during today's episode, the first 3 segments are going to be having that corrupted audio. So our intro, the Joe Harris retirement, and our blind ranking segment. Everything after the fact is good because we recorded most of this on Monday. We recorded the shower thoughts and the outro on Tuesday. Look, Gio's the savior here because after our blind rankings, we decided to get food. It was Gio's idea to get food, and that allowed us to turn off our audio stuff and restarted, and everything turned out fine after that. So we do apologize for the first, like half hour, 45 minutes of this podcast. You're going to hear that audio. It's not too bad. It's good enough. It's obviously just not the top quality that we like to upload, but there's no going back at this point. It's already Thursday, and it's a 2.5-hour podcast, but most of it's good. So you'll get at least 2 hours of good audio, including this intro, obviously, that I'm giving y'all right now. As far as the rest goes, we hit 2,500 subs. Can't thank you all enough for your support. It's been unreal. And also, we just hit 2 million views across our entire YouTube channel. That's shorts, videos, podcasts. I mean, we're just blown away. That number just doesn't even feel real. 1 mil didn't even feel real, let alone like 100K. So we're really grateful for all of y'all. And we hope you guys do enjoy this episode because it is a doozy. We spent a very long time grading the Western Conference off seasons. And we got a lot more planned for the future. So if you guys do enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, all that stuff. Check out the links in the description, everything like that. We have some big guests planned for the show at some point soon, which you guys will know more information when the time comes. But aside from that, I think that's everything from me. And let's get you to the episode. And I hope you all enjoy. So let's get into episode number 19 of the Floor Spacer podcast. We've hit the Tatum episode.
What is that?
Number 19.
We're 1 away from 20.
Quick maths.
Wow, you're smart.
Look at you.
Bro, I'm so smart.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
No, it's 19.
Okay, sure. Both answers are acceptable.
Did you guys see that Shams is leaving the stadium?
Yeah, we knew that was happening.
So where is ESPN?
No,
Wait, which stadium is he leaving?
No, he works for a company called Stadium.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He's definitely going to either NBC or Amazon.
Fire.
Do you think he's going to be the guy for NBC, like the insider?
Mm-hmm.
Or Amazon?
Bro, this dude is so like.
So I got to see him on NBC.
Yeah,
Ugh.
or Amazon.
Or
This dude is all about the attention and the money. So as soon as the TV deal got agreed to, I knew he was tipping. Because right now, all of his ties are kind of with TNT.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what happens with him and then obviously with Chris Haynes as well.
Yes. Chris Haynes is good.
So that obviously could happen. But I think it's time we address the elephant in the room. Gio got a new shirt.
A new shirt?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean?
He got a new white
shirt, bro.
tank
New
top,
white
new
tee.
white tee.
Yeah, new white tee that's glowing beautifully in our brand new lighting.
It is.
Yes.
As we saw the
Indeed.
comments, we definitely have been reading them. We know, we don't got money like that, so we, little upgrades here and there.
Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
It was either the camera or the lighting, and we figured out the lighting is worse than the camera because you could still see us perfectly clear.
Right, yeah, because at the end of the day, could our cameras upgrade? Absolutely.
Yes.
But at the same time, I'd rather have y'all see us clearer than be darker with 4K quality because we
Right.
record in 1080 30. We record in 1080 60, but our webcams are 1080 30. It just kind of is what it is.
As of now.
As of now, yeah. Probably towards the end of the year, maybe next year at some point as we push towards our 1 year anniversary
Yeah,
of
or,
the show.
or Christmas if stuff goes on sale, which always happens.
Exactly.
We'll figure it out.
Actually, I just realized a month from a month from now, maybe a little bit, maybe like 4 weeks from now will be our 6-month anniversary since starting the podcast.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. We started in March and it's already August. So we started doing shorts kind of second, third week and pod came a month and a half afterwards. So, and yeah, look how far we've come already. I think I already tell the difference between us in March and us
Oh my
now.
God. Looking at our studio now from what we started with to what we have now is a significant upgrade.
Yeah, the
only thing that has stayed the same has probably been where Tyler's sitting and also the mixer. But the cameras have changed where they're mounted and so have the lights.
My camera's been the same because I'm on the
Yes.
desk.
Yeah.
But y'all
Remember the
have
baskets and the book stands?
And the
Like,
baskets
there
and the
now,
book
yeah.
stand.
Come on, man.
And the Bible.
we got tripods now.
And
Yeah, we got everything.
The Bible was holding up Gio's camera literally.
Foundation.
The foundation.
literally.
foundation of the Floor
Yeah,
Spacer podcast.
we had it on
That's
little
right.
tripods. Now we have actual big tripods.
Yeah,
we got new light bulbs too, but it wasn't doing
It didn't do it
the
justice,
job for us.
unfortunately.
That's why we invested in our ring lights that are behind the camera, that are all pointed towards us.
Yep.
Yeah. We got the ring light so you can see my waves a little bit better. So I'm gonna
Yes.
have a
That's
wave
true.
check, nice little wave.
A little wave
reveal.
check to start the intro.
Come on, ready?
Beautiful. Let's see. Don't go in too far because remember.
Don't mind the hairline though.
Yeah, just kind of stay where you are because they won't be able to see if you're like really up close.
Oh yeah, because remember he zooms
'Cause we're in the
when
overlay.
he zooms in the overlay. Yeah.
Well, the hairline's
So-
gonna be a little.
Your hairline's a little bit of a yikes. That's Antoine's fault, but you know it is what it is. I can't.
Oh wow.
We
Oi,
waving?
I actually can see them.
Yes.
Waving right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I still gotta get the shape up, so don't mind me.
That's
Don't
fine.
mind me.
You're chilling, bro.
I
It
see it
happens.
though.
We there. We
Yeah.
here.
It's there.
We have
Yo,
arrived.
you are so back, bro.
Huh?
You are so back.
Come on.
Yeah,
Back.
We
and
are
better.
back.
Let's go.
So, what's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 19 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Tyler Schwartz, Anthony Cavino, and Giovanni Squiteri coming at you from the studio once again. Lads, how are we?
We doing good.
Bright.
Very sore right now.
Very bright, yeah.
Very bright.
Yeah, Gio's been on that
Very
workout grind,
exhausted.
bro.
Bro, listen to what I did really quickly.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Ran a mile.
Today?
After that, this is all 4 time. All 4 time. Okay?
Okay, yeah,
So ran a mile.
got it.
After that, we came in, we did 50 broad jump burpees.
Ugh.
After that, we did 100 lunges straight, reverse lunges.
Yeah.
After that, we did 1,000 meters on the rower.
Ugh.
After that, we did 30 hand release push-ups. And finally, we did 100 squat thrusters
Oof.
to finish it off. And so all
That's
that
crazy.
all that took me about 28 minutes.
I thought it was going to take longer, if I'm being honest.
What?
I thought it was
So,
going to take at least an hour. That's wild.
but man, I'm telling you right now, my entire body is aching.
Oh, I don't blame
Oh,
you.
no,
I'd
but-
probably be dying if I had to do that.
A fire workout. It's called High Rocks. It's brutal.
High rocks. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to get back to the gym at some point.
Absolutely.
I just hate going alone because I'm that kind of guy that doesn't know what he's doing half the time.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
okay.
need some
You
guidance.
figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not. As you can tell by my body, I'm not really a gym goer.
Literally, all I did was watch some YouTube videos.
Yeah,
You could ask people around in the gym too. Depends
Yeah.
who you ask.
that is true. It really just.
Yeah.
It does depend, but yeah, today's gonna be a good episode. Obviously, we have not a jersey retirement. We have a retirement to cover. We're gonna do some blind rankings. Y'all loved it on the shorts, so we're obviously gonna do that as a segment because they are kind of a pain in the ass to edit for shorts. So I'd rather have them on the pod rather than the shorts. We're gonna predict our 2028 U.S. Men's Basketball Olympic team for LA. And then we're going to grade the West off season. If you guys want to go check out last episode, we graded the East. We'll put the link down below for both YouTube and Spotify. And then it's Gio's turn for shower thoughts. So this will be the first shower thoughts with our new lighting. So kind of bring it in with style.
Let's do it.
If you guys do enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We're actually, by the time this episode comes out, we're actually most likely going to hit 2 major milestones. We're going to hit 2,500 subs. And at the time of recording, as of tomorrow morning, we're going to eclipse 2 million views across our YouTube channel,
Wow.
which is just insane to us.
Beautiful.
You know, we sound like a broken record being thankful and everything. And it's true. We are grateful. We do love each and every one of you that clicks on our videos and interacts with us. So we're just looking to keep this thing growing. At 5,000 subs, we are going to launch a Discord server. So, and then at 10,000 subs, I think we're going to start live streaming because I think we'll have the facilities for that at that point.
Well,
So, because we were going to start doing it now, but we're not ready. We don't want to pile too much onto our plate.
Yeah.
We're kind of starting out going through the ropes of podcasting and everything of that nature.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all. If we do hit both of them, thank you in advance for that. And yeah, be sure to check out us on social media at Floor Spacer Pod and all the usual suspects, Twitter, Insta, all that stuff. Be sure to follow our personal ones, which you can see down below, including Gio's Twitter. Get him to a mil.
somebody actually followed me from at the same time from the Floor Spacer and all of us at the same time because I checked.
They followed me too.
Yeah, we've gotten a few.
Yeah, a few.
Followed.
It's rare.
Who is it?
We're not.
It's like a younger person. I don't know. I can't really tell.
So
I just saw like a sports photo.
Yeah, we've gotten a few, but yeah, that's today's episode as far as the agenda goes. What's on today's kind of plate, and obviously if you guys do want to check out any of our shorts, they're on our channel. We upload them every day. That's what the bell's for. That you're notified every single time we upload, 4 p.m. or somewhere around that Eastern time. But lads, anything from y'all before we jump right in?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
Let's go. All right, into the first segment, the first story. We're starting off with another retirement. I think this is like the 4th time we're covering a player retirement since we started this show. I think it was first Blake Griffin, and then we did the trifecta of Jeremy Lamb, Gordon Hayward, and I think Kyle Guy or someone else was like the other guy.
Some rando.
No.
It was, I forgot who it was.
Some rando.
Jeremy Lamb.
Yeah.
What else did you say?
It was Blake Griffin, Gordon Hayward, Jeremy Lamb. Those
And
were
Jonte
definites.
Porter.
No, yeah, it was just Gordon Hayward and Jeremy Lamb.
Basically Jonte Porter because he's not allowed to play anymore.
Pretty much.
But this one hits a little bit more home for me, being a self-proclaimed depressed Nets fan. Nets legend Joe Harris has announced his retirement from the game of basketball at only 32, or 31 actually. It'll be 32 in September. I think his agent told Shams around a couple days ago, somewhere along those lines. And yeah, after earning that big contract, that was the last contract he ever got. So,
How big was that contract?
It was 4 years, $75 million.
Oh my
From
goodness.
the Nets.
Yes.
He got his money.
He got his money. And it's really a shame,
money,
too, because Joe's one of those guys with a really good story. Coming into the league, was standout at Virginia, was part of that starting 5 with Malcolm Brogdon and Anthony Gill and all those guys. Was drafted in, I think, the 32nd or 33rd pick by the Cavs. So he was a LeBron rook, one of the last LeBron rooks in Cleveland. And obviously, when you go to his team stacked like that, you're not going to get any playing time. So he just rode the bench. He played a little bit every now and then. He did get minutes in the finals at like the end of the game in garbage time. And then I think in January of 2016 was traded to the Orlando Magic and cut from the Orlando Magic that day. And while all that happened, he was having foot surgery. So he just didn't know anything that was going on.
Wow.
So he was pretty much out of the league. Sean Marks takes over as the Nets general manager in the summer of 2016. And Joe was one of his first signings. I think if you guys have seen the picture of like all those Nets players, like Jeremy Lin was there where they had the jerseys and everything. He was all the way on the end. And, all players like that need is just a chance to play. And he took up the opportunity perfectly. Was a bench guy for a few years. And then once we got D'Lo and everything, he began starting. And then really kind of came into his own in 2019, where he won the three-point contest, led the league in three-point percentage. And then 2020 came, kind of the same thing. The lockdown actually benefited him because the last game, if you remember that Lakers game, he had, I think, a high ankle sprain. So he was going to miss time anyways. But because of that, he was essentially good. I don't think he even traveled with the team after that. So he went to the bubble, played very well in the bubble, which essentially kept him on the team. Got him the 4-year, $75 million contract, which obviously looks like a horrible contract now, but hindsight's 2020. It was warranted at the time. Mm-hmm. And look, I mean, that season was his best season, the year after signing that contract. I think he averaged like 15 a game on 47% from three.
Yeah.
Super
efficient.
Was, I think, far and away the best role player in the NBA that season. And then, the Harden, I think, was the big key for him. Really just unlocked a lot of his game because Harden's a good playmaker. Kind of found him in the corner. He was really good at cutting to the rim and all that stuff. Playoffs came around, was absolutely lights out against the Boston Celtics. Shot, I think, 53% from three. And unfortunately, with shooters, we saw this with MPJ last year. When you go crazy God mode in the first round, you're going to have a drop off. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened in the Milwaukee Bucks series. And that's unfortunately what his career is defined by. Those struggles in games 3 through 7. I think he shot like 21% from three in those 5 games and missed that wide open sitter in overtime. And that kind of was the big, I guess, what's the word? The big hit to his career.
It's a nail in the coffin.
Really bad nail in the coffin. But obviously, granted, he still had 3 years left on his deal. We kind of ran it back with most of that team. Obviously, Harden left later on, but he kind of struggled to open up that season. But that November stretch of those first 2 weeks, he really kind of came back into his own, started to have that revenge tour, and then he sprains his ankle. I think it was Jeremiah Robinson Earl went up for a rebound with him, and Joe landed right on his foot, tweaked the ankle. And, a lot of NBA players, Seth Curry had the same thing. They have bone spurs, little loose bodies that kind of float around, cause a lot of swelling. So he went for the surgery, and they botched the surgery. So the swelling never went down. He was still in pain, had to get another surgery. And this wound up being a career-ending injury because last season he did not look like himself, was barely playing in Detroit, got traded away in the offseason. And, no team in this new CBA, you're not going to get a minimum contract anymore unless you're going to produce. And unfortunately, he decided to call it quits. And you know what? It is what it is. So 10 seasons in the NBA, really impressive considering where he had started off. And that's kind of the story of Joe Harris. I think he retires the 5th most accurate three-point shooter in NBA history, 43.6%. So, and
it's quite solid.
Yeah, one of my personal favorite Nets ever. It's just a shame the way it ended. It just feels like everything sort of came to an abrupt end, from the Bucks series to the injuries to the trade to everything after the fact. So that was kind of my opening sort of thing with that. I'll kind of throw it over to you guys because obviously I know, Antoine, you've watched a fair amount of Nets basketball. Obviously because it's on our TV channels, and I'm sure you probably have too as well, Gio. So just get general thoughts of what y'all thought of his career.
Joe was knocked down. There's no question about that. Watching during COVID. Same thing like with KD. I was, when he took a shot, it was going in during that moment in his career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. After it, not so much. But Joe was great. I love Joe. Joe had big, he had the hair with the headband, and his hair would bounce around when he would run back and forth. And it was just so funny. But he was a great guy. I love him. I love seeing guys that are three-point shooters succeed since I'm a fellow three-point shooter myself. I wish Steve Novak got that contract, but it's okay. Joe Harris. If it's another guy, I'll give it to Joe Harris. He is someone you can never hate. He is a guy that's just.
I hate him.
He was reliable. He was all reliable for them, and he didn't get a lot of credit for what he brought to that team. Obviously, with their big 3 at the time, before Harden got there was the big 2. And he kind of just got swept under the rug a little bit. And, they were not really showcasing his skills, which were showcased previously in COVID when the D-Lo was there, the Dinwiddie days.
Yeah.
Just a guy that came from not a very popular school. Where did he go to college?
West Virginia.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Quite popular.
Popular, but not a popular draft pick choice, probably.
No, it was a second-round pick.
Second-round pick,
yeah.
Exactly. So a guy that's coming from a big basketball school, but not really, I guess, touted as a first-round pick. But definitely blew out of the water, made the teams that passed him up look like garbage for passing up a guy like him that in his prime was a very great three-point shooter, someone that...
Top 5 all time. Is that what it was?
Percentage-wise? As far as accurate, I wouldn't call him a top 5 shooter of all time. But
percentage-wise,
he retired 5th.
Yeah.
So he was at the time he retired, he was the second most accurate.
Who are some notable players that are below him?
Steph Curry.
Wow.
Well, he's a high volume shooter, so it's not going to be as high.
Exactly. But still, to be above Steph is amazing.
Duncan Robinson's another one. I have the list right here. Actually, let me just pull it up.
That's pretty cool to see. Joe Harris, the man, the myth.
Yeah, the man, the myth.
Nets legend.
Nets legend, and it really sucks because he was well on his way to getting a jersey retirement. He still might get it,
Nah.
but it really just depends on what the Nets want to do as far as that goes,
I don't think
because
they should.
he is a player that's been here for almost a decade. So
he was drafted to the Cavs.
yes, he was drafted in 2014.
Played with Braun
Yeah, he played with Bron and Kyrie.
and Kyrie.
Yep.
Did they go to the finals that year?
Yes, they did.
Did they win?
No,
They lost.
it was in 2015.
Unfortunately.
And then he got traded in January, the year they won the title.
Oh, yeah.
So he kind of got screwed. But as far as notable players below, that is three-point field goals. Hold on. NBA all-time three-point percentage. Because there's definitely a lot of players notable below him, obviously, considering he's fifth. Here it is. I found it. So, yeah. So,
Not sponsored.
below him.
That was not planned.
Not
so-
sponsored.
That was not planned.
So you got both Curry brothers are below him.
Uh-huh.
Steve Novak's below him.
Let's go.
Steve Nash is below him.
Who's above him?
Who's above him? The only 4 players above him. Actually, 4 out of the top 5 players had played for the Nets. So the
Okay,
only,
wait. Here, can you guess who's above Joe Harris all time?
3-point percent.
3-point percentage.
Yes.
Ray Allen?
No.
PP.
No. Why would Paul Pierce be?
Wasn't he knocked down?
No.
I thought he was.
Above
No.
Joe Harris. Okay, so Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr is the only non-Nets player above him.
Okay, so he's
number
probably
one.
number one.
He's number 1.
Number 2, who is that guy?
Number 2 is an old player.
Tim Legler.
You probably are not going to know who he is.
No, just say
It's
it.
not. It's Hubert Davis.
Okay, yeah. No.
Is that the coach for North Carolina?
No, that's Roy
No,
Williams.
no.
Oh, well, he might
No,
be. Yeah.
Hubert Davis, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. I
Roy
forgot he
retired.
retired. Yeah. Number 3 is a current player.
Oh, shoot.
On the Nets?
No.
On what team?
Oh, yeah, I forgot he moved up. So there's only 3 in the top 5. He's in the West.
He's in
What
the West.
team?
Memphis.
Memphis.
That is Luke Kennard.
It is.
Yo.
Luke Kennard's 43.9% if you
Go
round
Luke.
up.
Who's fourth?
Number 4 is Drazen Petrovic.
Okay.
The late
Wow.
Drazen Petrovic.
Petrovic.
Could have been a lot higher, unfortunately,
Right.
but God rest his soul.
Yeah.
And then below him, I mean, Clay's below him, Grayson Allen, Michael Porter Jr.,
Impressive.
Wally Serbiak.
So pretty much he goes down in history. Better than Steph, better than Clay, better than Ray.
He beat Steph Curry in a 3-point contest.
Okay.
So he has that.
Joe Harris, let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Joe. I remember during the COVID lockdown, Joe was knocked down.
Absolutely.
And that was it.
He had a very underrated layup package.
Yeah, really?
Very underrated reverse layup package.
I was
He always broke it out every
I
now
was
and then.
always on.
Kyrie taught him that.
I was
Yes.
always on the side for paying Joe just because he was so great and he was so underpaid.
Yeah.
And we always say like guys that deserve their money, like, who's another guy that got their money this year? That was like Cade, but that's a
Yeah.
different story. But
Or
guys
like a
that
role player like
guys
Derek-
that are role players that got their money, and Joe was one of them. And then it kind of went downhill. But
Yeah.
it's part of growing old with the game.
Right.
It's no one's going to be, unless you're LeBron, no one's going to be playing in their prime into their late 30s,
No, never.
beginning 40.
Well, late 30s, because your prime ends when you're like 32, and like the all-time great sit ends a little bit later, like 37,
Yeah.
36. It really just depends on who you are. Because like, for example, I'm trying to think of like a good player, like someone like, I don't even know,
Who's still playing in their like late 30s?
someone older. So like someone like Russell Westbrook, for example, is
Chris
prime.
Paul.
Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul. Chris Paul's prime kind of extended a little
Let's
bit
stick with
longer.
Russ. Let's stick
Yeah,
with Russ.
Okay.
Russ's prime ended a lot earlier than like Jokic. Jokic's prime will probably end late 30s, just like LeBron. It's just LeBron's an anomaly because he's still jacked. He's still major league athletic. It's just like
Yeah.
you're never going to see that much. But yeah, no, I think with Joe, what really I could take away is that he never really got to right the wrongs because of the injury.
Right.
And when you're that durable, because obviously he had injuries at the beginning of his career, but when you're that durable, it just takes one injury to kind of throw you off course. And look, the surgery was botched, kind of is what it is. I hope he sues the crap out of that surgeon because cut his career short.
Dang.
And I think he'd still be playing right now if he never got
I don't
hurt.
know if I would sue the surgeon though.
Well, it's just
That's kind of
it's
messed
just an
up.
exaggeration.
Yeah, it
Bro,
depends.
bro already got 75 mil plus.
Yeah.
The surgeon probably messed up. He's like, oh man, it's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
Like
A lot of things like that happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It unfortunately is what it is. But yeah, that is the career of Joseph Buckets. I hope the Nets give him some sort of role within the organization,
That'd be
whether
cool.
it's someone in the
Shooting
front
coach.
office. That would be cool. We had Kyle Korver a few years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So-
why not?
But I think his dad's a coach, so I wonder if
that.
he's going to go down the same path
Okay.
and coach at some point. But I don't know. He gives me the vibes of Kawhi and Jokic of just going off the grid. He's
He
not
might
on
be.
social media. I don't think
Really?
I don't think we're going to hear from him again.
He's
Wow.
not on social media.
He kind of got bullied off social media after the
What?
Bucks series. Yeah,
So he
That's
just
how-
deleted his accounts.
Yeah.
and
he,
everything?
he deactivated everything.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
Alright.
what happens.
That's
you know?
tough, man.
It's tough, man. It is what it is. And that's why I think we're going to title this segment how one of the best role players' careers came to an abrupt end.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be beautiful for views.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my all-time favorite Nets, unfortunately, shit happens. It's basketball. You kind of move on from it. And, you just hope the next guy's better. But as for Joe, congrats on a great career. He grinded his way to it.
Yes.
A lot of hard work. We wish him all the best in retirement. And anything else from y'all before we move on to the next segment?
We love Joe. That's it. We love Joe.
All right.
Hopefully we'll see him again. Maybe
Hopefully we will see
maybe
him
some
again.
pod appearances, maybe something.
That would be a bucket list guess for me.
Um,
That would be.
he's a very good basketball mind.
seems chill.
And
Yeah.
he's a very relaxed person.
Yeah.
Yeah, from based on people that I know that know him, he's a great person. So
Yeah.
Okay,
at the end
Tyler.
of the day, that's all that matters. So, and with that, we move on. All right, into the next segment. Well, it's not really a story. It's just it's our first activity, mini game, if you will.
I'm so ready. I'm ready to win.
Ready to win. We're working together. So
Super competitive.
this is going to be blind ranking. So if you live under a rock, or essentially if you're Noah Lyles,
I think he's just doing it for clicks.
I hope so. Cause
I want to
Just-
race Noah Lyles.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, that'd be fun.
It's
Yeah.
You can't be. That's a
Bro,
difference.
are they
But you
gonna-
can't be too what's the word? Oh my god.
Naive.
Or entitled.
Yeah.
Not like I
he's
don't know who Jokic is.
Yeah. It's
I
like
don't know who LeBron is.
Maybe he's being for real.
maybe.
doesn't watch
There's
the NBA.
no way,
Hey, bro,
in
this
hell.
whole thing started was because he was talking about Jokic's team.
He literally wants
he was
the
the
PR.
MVP
He
of
wants
that
the
team.
PR.
Bro,
Like, what's he gonna be like? He's like, oh yeah.
Like
I
I
don't know.
loved him. Like racing now, it's not fun. It's like a
It's not
Pat
fun-
Bev. It's
it's
like a
not
Pat
funny
Bev
anymore.
type of thing.
look, all I know is that me and Noah Lyles are racing August 27th
Ooh,
at the track. I'm not going to tell you where. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you where.
it's
No, I'm
gonna
not-
be. It's gonna be at Wembley.
where?
At Wembley in London.
In
Biggest
London.
stadium
Exactly.
in the UK.
Track.
And
So-
look, Noah Lyles signed the
On
contract.
site.
Signed the contract.
He's gonna ask, "Who are you?"
No, he knows who I am.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who Jokic is, but he knows who I am.
They're gonna like. So what's he's like. Like your brother, your mother's like. No, I don't know who that is. Like, nah, I have no clue.
All bro does is play League of Legends and
runs.
track and field. That's it.
No,
That's what he said.
he plays League of Legends. He runs and he complains about
Yeah.
celebrities that he doesn't know.
That's what
But
he
anyways, Noah Lyles aside, if you do live under a rock and you don't know what blind rankings are, basically we have 5 things that one person's gonna give us what it is, and we have to rank it 1 through 5 without knowing what comes next. So we could get something like really good off rip, but if we get something like there could be something better. So you don't want to always go number 1. You don't want to always go number 5. You got to strategically think about this. So the 3 of us each have a set of blind rankings for the other 2 to essentially do. And I'm hoping none of us chose the same thing. So, and if we did, then oh well. But
Imagine.
we're going to go in order. Antoine's going to go first, then it's going to be me, and then it's going to be Gio.
Bet.
So, and yeah,
Let's get it.
and essentially that will be that.
Take it away, Antoine.
Okay. So we're gonna blind rank the NBA's most famous arenas.
Ooh, I like
Wow.
this. And since we're not doing this for shorts, I do want to take a little bit more time to debate a little bit more rather than rushing through it.
Okay.
So we can debate these a little bit more
So, wait, are we ranking the most famous arenas or
based
the
on
most,
how we think the arenas.
How
famous we think they are?
they are to the basketball person. Like,
What if it's
Okay.
like an ugly
when you
arena,
ask a
though?
basketball
So the most
fan
popular arenas.
and most famous, well known
So are we
in the basketball world.
Gotcha.
Are we ranking these based off of their legacy, or are we ranking it based off of how well they look or how iconic?
Right.
I think just iconic,
Just iconic,
legendary,
Got you. Let's do it.
including the teams that play there as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna take into account the aesthetics as well.
Word.
Because
Yes.
if it's an all time if it's an old ass stadium and it looks ugly, I'm not going to rank it number 1.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Well, if it's iconic, like super iconic.
All of these are iconic arenas.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
We're going to start off with the Crypto.com Arena, also known as the Staples Center.
The Staples Center.
The Staples Center.
I mean, if they didn't change the name, I would rank this maybe even 1.
I'm still like debating on 1.
But since it's Crypto.com, I might put it at 2.
Has the name change alone lost its aura?
Yeah, big time.
That is fair.
It's always
It
gonna
might
be
even be
Staples
3.
Center.
To me, there's 2 arenas that I can think of right off rip that are better than Staples that I
Which
would
ones?
put above TD and MSG.
I agree.
Those are the only 2 I'm willing to put above.
So where are you going to put? I put this at 2.
I don't think he put both of them on the list. I think he's definitely probably put either TD or MSG on
He
this one.
definitely put MSG because he's a Knicks fan.
Because based on the way he was explaining
Look
it,
at the smile
he
on him.
wanted me to get him to put the Knicks at 1. So I'm kind of want to put Staples Center at 1 just to be a dick.
No way.
Yeah.
Please put it at 2. Put it at 2. Put it at 2.
We'll put it at 2.
Okay.
We'll put it at 2.
Okay. Next up is the Chase Center, where Golden State plays.
That's the new building,
the
right?
new building.
Okay, so it's definitely less iconic than Oracle.
4.
That's for sure. I really don't know if he put anything else on there. I mean, they did win. Did they win their 4th ring at the Chase Center?
I don't think so.
Ooh,
I think they might have.
I think they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Maybe the
definitely
first or
did.
second year.
It was the 4th ring, but I
Okay.
still don't think it's that iconic. It's just in the shadow of Oracle. So I'm fine with either 4 or 5. I think
Let's go 4.
Yeah, we'll put 4. We'll give ourselves wiggle room here.
Next up is Madison Square Garden.
That's number 1.
Yeah, I
easy.
knew it would go on there. I really hope TD's not on this list because
TD
TD's
should
my
not
number
go.
1.
Really?
Yes, I
Above
think-
MSG.
'cause, bro, the Celtics are the most storied franchise ever.
But it's MSG.
Yeah, but bro, TD Garden, Boston home crowd, the
No, but look,
Celtics, all the banners.
Listen to my point here.
Yes.
MSG is not only for the Knicks, bro. It's for like any event.
Right, but this is NBA we're talking about. This
No,
is
no, no.
not
But he
in
said most
general.
iconic arenas.
Yeah,
not-
but this is NBA arenas. We're basing those.
yeah,
basing
it is
on
an NBA arena, but like
I mean, it's
overall,
obviously
though.
going to go at number 1 because there's no other spot to put it.
Right, right.
But I personally think TD's above,
Okay.
so we'll put it at number 1.
Okay.
We'll satisfy.
So what do you
it.
have open right now?
We have 3 and 5.
Yeah,
Okay. Second to last is the Barclays Center.
it's 5.
It might have to go 5 just because it's nothing of notes happened. It's a nice, it's a beautiful arena.
It's a nice arena.
a nice
Been there a few
arena.
times.
But I would have probably put it above Chase Center, but we're gonna have to
I
put it
agree.
at 5.
Yeah, 5.
You'll put it at 5.
The last arena is TD Garden.
Yo, I knew it.
Yeah, it's all right. I would have just only swapped the Nets and the Warriors, and I would have swapped. I would have put the Knicks at 2, Celtics 1, Staples at 3.
I think
I think this is a good list.
It's a good list.
yeah, I think MSG and TD. If Staples Center still stayed the same, I think that's number 1.
Yes.
Uh,
No, I still put it at 2.
I would put it at 2 as
MSG
well.
still 1.
MSG for me, the ideal list would be MSG number 1, Staples if it was still called Staples
But it's
number
not.
2, but it's not Staples.
You're Mike speaking a little bit, Joe.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not Staples, so I would put it at 3 and TD at 2, and then it would be Barclays, Chase. That's my ideal list.
Mine would be TD first, MSG second, Crypto third, Barclays fourth, Chase Center fifth.
Or-
So yeah, what would yours be?
MSG, TD, Crypto.com, Barclays, Chase.
Word.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I think it's up for debate on whether you think it should be MSG or TD. Bank.
Yeah, I think they
I
rotate.
think, I think both are so iconic in their respective cities. It's really hard to pick one. It really
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
comes
it is
down to
tough.
preference.
Yeah.
So not bad at all. All right, it is my turn.
This is me and you now.
Yes,
Let's go.
we're gonna be blind ranking some NBA throwback jerseys.
I like it
Oh,
a lot,
Okay.
actually.
I got 5 unique ones. I don't have pictures, so hopefully y'all can just remember what they are. And maybe we can put them on the screen if
Yeah.
yes.
if I have enough time to edit, because sometimes I don't. But are y'all ready?
yeah.
Let's go.
All right, the first one. We're going to the nation's capital. We got the Washington Wizards gold alternates from the mid-2000s.
Man,
The all gold.
these are low-key tacky, but I like them.
Can I look this up?
Yeah, feel free. Just try to
Sure.
have some radio silence.
Just think about Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah, the Gilbert Arenas days. They wore them from 2006 to 2009.
I actually like these, though.
They're good. I think they're a better version of the old Kings ones, if you remember those.
I don't remember the old Kings ones. What color were they? They were
Gold. Same color.
They're gold? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the what color? What is the main color?
Gold. It's really all gold.
It's the all gold one.
Yeah.
Why
did they change that?
Is it this one?
No.
You don't remember this?
You don't remember this one?
Really?
No.
Hold on, let me find
Does
it for
it
you.
say San Francisco on the front?
No,
or
I said
what?
the Wizards,
The
dude.
Wizards.
Oh, this is Wizards. I'm looking at Warriors.
Why?
Sorry, I thought he said Warriors.
I said the nation's capital.
The nation's capital, San Francisco.
Bro thought Usain Bolt was American too.
You like it? I like gold. Like there's no team that has gold, so I want to put this in the middle.
I'll put it at 3.
You got to start in the middle. Keep it safe.
I'll put it at 3.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, lock in 3.
We'll land it there.
Next one. The Toronto Raptors purple with the dinosaur. They wore this in the late 90s.
I love that one.
I don't really like this that much. I think this is a little overhyped.
Love that one.
Juicy take.
I think this is a little overhyped, honestly.
You're going to have to come to an agreement.
I want to put this at 4.
I'm gonna pull up the picture for you.
No, I know what it looks like.
He's already seen it.
I know. All right, we can put it at 2, but I really don't want to go 1 on this.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I feel like there's one jersey that's better. I like the Vancouver Grizzlies jersey a lot. And if that's on the list, that's going number 1.
That's fine. I'm fine with putting this 2.
Okay, so you have the Wizards at 3 and you have the Raptors at 2?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Moving into the next one, you might have to look this one up because
will.
I'm not sure. He probably knows what it is. It's the Miami Heat's Hardwood Classic from 2005 and 2006. It's got like it's a black jersey with the orange and pink stripe down the one side.
This one.
I see.
5 or
4. 4.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I like it.
Hey, it's one at 4.
I would definitely buy that. I would rock that for sure. That's tough. You don't like the black with the vibrant colors on the side?
I like their
That's
Miami
tough.
Vice ones better.
I personally don't like it.
You don't like this one?
No.
Okay.
Why am I reading their name on the left side?
I don't know. It's let me see it. Show me again. I like that. Wait, turn it around. Let me see the name.
You like this?
It's interesting, to say the least.
Click that, bro. Yo, I actually like that.
No, that's the old one.
That's
I'm sorry.
1. That's number 1.
That is not number 1. Stop.
You
That
already
is 4 or 5.
You already locked in 4.
All right,
That is
four.
disgusting.
All right, locking in 4?
Lock it
4.
All right, so you have, what do you have open? 1
1
and
and
5?
1 and 5. Oh my god.
All right, next up, the Orlando Magic's black pinstripes from the 90s.
I love these jerseys.
Magic black pinstripes.
Bro,
These can go 1, but it's tough.
Oh, this one.
He does not know ball, bro. He used to look all these up.
I know this one.
I love that
I need to
jersey.
see it.
What do you
putting
think? We can't put that at 5.
No, we can't. This is not worse than.
We can't put that at
This
5.
is not
bro.
worse than the Miami. I like this one.
If he comes out with the Grizzlies,
I'm a
bro,
big
I'm
fan
gonna
of
be
this
pissed.
I'm a big fan of it. I'll put it.
1?
Yes.
All right, let's put it at 1.
Number 1.
Lock it.
This is a good choice for number 1. I also really like this one.
Okay.
All right, so I did not include the Vancouver Grizzlies on
Okay,
this
good.
list. I also did not include the old Pistons on this list.
Okay.
The last one, we're going way back. We're
Wow.
going back to the 1970s, and we have the Los Angeles Clippers Buffalo Braves orange throwback jersey.
Yo, I don't even know what these look like.
I have
Yeah.
a picture.
And honestly,
It's the orange one.
it's orange. That's my least favorite color.
Really?
So this might have to go. Bro, why does it look like a hockey jersey?
I don't like the way the stripes going through, and then that B is just smack in the right.
The
side.
only thing about this is it's so OG that it's like, whoa, that's kind of cool because
It's
it's
kind of
OG.
sick. Yeah,
But it doesn't look good to me.
that's fair.
It's mid, very
So I-
mid. So I'll
a good
happily
list.
put that at 5.
Yeah.
I'll put that at 5.
What would
Is
your-
it the white one or the orange?
the orange one?
Oh, this one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, still.
yeah.
Yeah.
What would your ideal list have been?
All right, so wait, so what we got? We got the Magic. We got.
I would
the
swap Raptors and Magic.
You Raptors number 1.
Raptors 1, Magic 2.
I disagree. I
Okay.
think I like the list where it's at. Wait, what did we put at number 3?
The Wizards one.
Wizards. I like this
I
list.
put this one over the Miami one. 4
no,
and 5.
no
I
way.
would put Miami at the bottom.
I
No
put
way.
Miami at the bottom.
You guys don't like that?
I would've-
Miami's
I would've
at
I think
gone-
it fits Miami's vibe very
would've-
well.
I would've-
No, that's the pink Miami Vice one. That fits
Yeah.
That
Miami
one's okay.
vibe.
I would have.
No.
I personally would have gone Magic number 1, Raptors number 2. I would have gone probably the Wizards number 3, the Clippers
Word.
4, and the Heat 5.
Okay.
I don't like that Heat.
I
jersey
like
at
the
all.
Heat one. Honestly, I would put that higher. I would put that at 3.
Really?
Yeah.
You wanted to put it at number 1.
Yeah, but yeah, realistically, no.
That's crazy.
That's a good list.
I'm very happy with that list.
All right,
Very
moving
happy.
on to the last
Penultimate.
blind rank.
Last
All right.
one.
The ultimate.
The
Penultimate, second to last.
Penultimate
Yeah.
is second.
What are we blind ranking today, Gio?
Guys, I got something for you guys.
It better not be
We're
Russell Westbrook.
blind ranking. This is very subjective. This is not objective.
Okay.
So it's based on you guys' opinions. You guys have to come to a conclusion.
Okay.
We're blind ranking the best cities, best NBA cities to play in.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's start it off.
I don't-
As a player,
So as a
including,
player,
like
where do you want to
housing,
play?
Yeah.
housing, location,
Life in general.
life, in
Include
general.
all
I
that
don't
stuff.
want to be. I don't want to be that big city.
You don't wanna
want
be in the
rider.
city.
Like I know. I don't want to. Like, I don't want to be too boring with this list.
Right.
Okay.
Sense,
Go ahead.
so,
All right, you ready?
yeah, let's go
Let's
for
start it off with New York City.
it. Whew.
Starting very
Put that smack
controversial.
in the middle.
I'm actually down with smack in the middle.
Smack
because,
in the
like,
middle with New York?
It's well. I mean, you gotta be able to handle New York. A lot
Wow.
of athletes don't. It's also ridiculously crowded. It gets freezing cold in the
And
winter.
overpriced.
And New York taxes are expensive.
But think about it. If you're making all that money, that's not really going to affect you that
That's
much.
true.
But
yeah.
if you're
Okay,
a
and
bench,
another thing is,
I also hate New York City.
if you're a
so-
bench player, it's affecting you quite a lot.
well, no,
bro, you're still
getting paid.
millions.
Yeah, you
bro,
But I
millions.
personally don't like New York City, so I'm
Right.
fine putting it. at
Okay,
three.
so that's your personal
I'll
opinion.
put it
Correct.
smack in the
But
middle.
the PA, the publicity you
Oh,
get
yeah.
being in New York,
Yeah,
the
it's
amount of
a lot.
opportunities,
But the journalists are so
they're tough.
awful.
They're tough.
tough.
They're awful.
So I think you put it right in the middle.
Smack
I think
in the middle.
Everything
Yes.
cancels itself out perfectly.
All right, locked in.
Smack in the middle.
Yes.
All right. Next up, Memphis.
Ooh. So look,
I love Nashville.
Nashville's good. Memphis is good too. It's a little unsafe in some parts, just like New York,
Yes.
obviously. Memphis is not.
Is it because Jaws over there?
No.
No,
No.
No. But Memphis is not a place that I'm. But
I love Nashville.
But high. But we're not talking about Nashville.
but it's right there.
no, it's
kinda far.
Really not. It's
It's
on the other
far.
side of the state.
3 hours away from each other.
Okay.
Memphis is on the complete west side of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're basically in like what, either Missouri or Arkansas, one of
Yeah.
the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Tennessee's
So-
mad long of a
Yes.
state. So
Yes.
it's like a 3-4 hour drive.
I'll put it at 4.
I'm thinking 5. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
Five.
there's a couple more teams.
There could be
than
worse.
5.
Yeah, unless he throws out like Albuquerque or something.
No,
But
I'll put it.
I'm fine. Yeah,
let's do
we'll play
4.
it safe. We'll go
Let's do
4.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Locked in at 4?
Yeah.
Lock into 4.
All right, next up, Seattle.
Ooh, Seattle's a good one. I think the Pacific Northwest is very slept on as far as just everything goes.
Seattle is also a city.
It is a city.
It is
but
a city.
Remember, it's not like New York
It's
City.
not like New York.
It's not a mecca. It's just it's a big city.
I am fine putting it at 2.
I
Wow.
think we're on the same page here, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I think there are a few better than
I think
than
I
Seattle.
think the Pacific Northwest don't get enough love, and I think it's like a good balance of
now
everything.
I would definitely have.
Taxes are very high over there as well.
They are.
I don't want any LA teams. My only number ones would be Golden State and Miami.
I wouldn't
Okay.
even put them in number 1. My number 1s would probably be like a more like I think Phoenix was the for me,
Really?
Phoenix is like perfect,
Phoenix, but
I almost put that on the list, too.
It's so hot.
but it is hot. But like it's like you get the perfect balance of everything. It's like a city, but it's not too busy. It's not,
With Golden State, I like the Bay, and then Miami.
San,
is
Fran- beautiful.
San Francisco.
Miami.
San Francisco is one of the most expensive cities to live in.
It is.
It is.
It is
But it's
criminally
super
overpriced.
beautiful.
So
It
is
is.
Miami.
Right. But I think Seattle's one of those places where you can even live out just outside of the city.
I'm also perfectly fine with New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
being-
I'm
The
not-
food's great. I know
Food's
that.
Food is really good.
Yeah.
All right.
But, yeah, we have
go
one.
ahead.
We have 1 and 5 open.
So you're locking Seattle in at
That's
2?
2, yeah.
Okay. Next up, Toronto.
Ooh,
So we're going out of the country.
Yeah.
out of the country.
Um,
Now, here's my thing.
Let's go.
I think Canada's great. I think Canada's amazing. I think Toronto is one of the more underrated cities. I think there's better cities in Canada. I think Vancouver and Montreal are better.
yes.
My thing is, one of the biggest complaints you see from NBA, because we're going this based off of if we were an NBA player, right?
Right.
NBA players have an absolute nightmare dealing with immigration when they get drafted by the Raptors or even when they sign with Toronto.
Yeah.
So you're going through customs, OD. It's probably a big pain in the ass. It's a big move just moving out of the country to begin with. So I'm fine putting it at 5, banking on the fact
Yeah.
that he put something good at the last one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's fine.
I personally, if my ideal list would probably have it at 3.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
just based on the
Toronto doesn't really
I think outside of the free healthcare,
move the needle.
Right.
but cold winter, you're dealing with immigration
That's
and
true.
everything like that. So
But the fans, man,
fans in Toronto
are
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah,
Super
Toronto,
loyal.
well,
They're
they-
always packed.
Just Toronto in this blind rank got stiffed by the blind rank. It
Right,
just is
Yeah.
what it
right,
is.
right.
They
We're gonna
love.
have-
Respect to Toronto.
We're gonna have to put Toronto at 5.
Yeah.
All right, ready? Last team is Miami.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine with
I'm
that
not a Florida
list.
kid personally, but I'm fine putting Miami.
Fine with
at 1.
Miami at
I'm
1.
fine with
Okay.
Miami being 1.
No taxes, tropical weather,
Yeah, the nightlife is
90-degree
great.
Christmas.
Food is good. Disney World's right there.
Well, no, it's like 5-hour drive.
Disney
but
World is still there in the same state.
Got all the cruise ports there.
The beaches.
The cruises are
Yeah.
closer.
What would your ideal list have been?
Right. You want to hear the cities again?
Yes, please.
I would.
So there's Memphis, Seattle, Toronto, New York, Miami.
I'm still keeping Miami 1.
Okay.
New York is moving up to 2.
Got
Okay.
it.
Seattle's going to 3.
Okay.
Ooh.
Toronto's going to 4, and Memphis is going to 5.
Wow.
All right, I'm about to get controversial here.
Let's go.
I'm going Seattle at 1.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seattle.
You're a West Coast guy.
Seattle's my kind of
Seattle's
Seattle.
nice.
You
I
should
don't
know
like
this.
the Northwest though.
I love the
No,
Northwest.
Seattle's nice.
It's super like rainy, cloudy all the time.
Even
It's not my
still,
vibe.
It's just so beautiful out there, man.
Okay.
So I'd go Seattle 1. I would go Toronto 2. I would go Miami 3. I would go New York City 4 and Memphis 5.
You know why? Because also you're not really getting a lot of media attention in Seattle. And
Yes, you
Toronto.
are,
You definitely are.
but not as much
Not
as
as
New
much.
York
No,
and
yeah.
Miami.
Seattle,
probably.
Toronto,
Wow.
New York.
I just don't like New York.
And you said Memphis is 5.
Yeah.
I think we all agree with that
3,
one.
Miami 3.
I'm not a big Miami
Okay,
fan.
New York 4, Memphis 5. So Memphis is the distinct.
Yeah.
worst one.
For me, I like Florida, but it's not. Florida's to me a vacation spot, not a place of residence.
Right. Well, for me,
Okay.
What would
my
your list
ideal
be?
list is New York 1.
Okay.
Okay, and this
He
is
wants
this
he
is
wants the
banking
pressure.
on this is banking on if I'm a good player. Okay,
Right.
let's assume I'm a good player in the NBA.
Yes.
I'm at New York, bro. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
So New York 1, Miami 2,
Yep.
Yep.
Toronto 3, Seattle 4, Memphis 5.
Okay.
That's my list.
Yeah, we're all unanimous on Memphis, and,
Yeah.
and everything's kind of mixed apart.
What would your like ideal number 1 be if that's not on this list? Because like mine's Phoenix.
Ideal number 1.
Yeah.
Oh my, like
I think
Overall?
Miami still stays.
still New York.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think
New York.
Miami stays.
Okay.
I'm staying with Miami.
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
Well, those were 3 blind ranks. We could low-key do this almost every episode if we want to, if there's
This
not
is
much
fun.
going on.
Yeah.
We could do other stuff. We could do tier lists. We
I
could do
enjoy
hoop grids.
Word.
So yeah. Any final thoughts from y'all before we move on to the next segment?
Just a little weird tidbit here from Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
After Team USA got their gold,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards gave a comment to Boardroom.
That's Kevin Durant's company.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, just get in front of the mic when you say it.
Yeah.
Your
So,
left side.
so they were trying to celebrate after the final.
Yeah.
He said, in quote, "We couldn't even really celebrate for real because me, including Ant, Katie, and Steph, had to go take a drug test."
Yes.
Really?
I did see that.
Why?
That's what they do.
It's just random every now and
It's
then.
random.
There was someone had posted, I think Tyrese Maxey posted a video on his Instagram story of him in the lab, and someone's like, "Yo, Tyrese is jacked." Tweet blew up. He got a drug test the next day.
Yeah.
So
they try to get them as it's
yeah,
random.
It's random.
I don't know if you remember back. Like,
You have to though.
in
drug tests are so necessary.
the NFL, people were saying that after having good games, and the Monday after, like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
get a random drug test.
Oh,
you had a
definitely,
good game, you get a random drug test.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not random.
So, but yeah, we could talk about that in depth. Maybe one day we could talk about all
Yeah,
that stuff.
Drug testing.
But yeah, I think it's time we move on. All right, into the next segment, the next story. Now, a lot of buzz, obviously, about the Olympics over the past month, and rightfully so. U.S. took home gold in an unsurprising fashion. And it got everyone thinking, what's the team going to look like in 4 years when it's in L.A.? Because we all know the 3 faces of the NBA right now, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, will most likely not be on the team by then. They all probably won't even be playing anymore by that point. We don't know. A lot can change in 4 years. So we've seen a bunch of different predictions and stuff going all and around on Twitter and Instagram and ESPN and all that stuff. So Gio asked us last week, maybe we should predict the U.S. 2028 lineups. And I was like, you know what? That's a damn good idea.
That's a good idea.
Damn good idea. So lo and behold, this is what we're going to be doing for this next segment. So what I asked these two gentlemen to the left or right of me to do, we prepped 15 guys on this roster. Yes, I know it's only 12, but let's make it a little bit more evenly distributed. The stipulations were to do a starting 5, second unit, and reserve. So 15 players total of the roster predictions. We're also going to predict who the next head coach and the 2 assistant coaches will be. Those are the main 2 things. And I'm just going to double check with y'all. You guys don't have LeBron, Steph, or KD on these teams, correct?
No, sir.
Okay, I do not either. So, yeah, I think we just dive right in. So, Antoine, we'll kick it off with you first. Give us your starting 5 for your 2028 Olympics predictions.
Oh, the thing about this is that all of these players can be on so many different playing levels in 4 years.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm going off of just right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
It's right
Yeah.
now, but you're also projecting.
But these guys could all be fantastic in 4 years. They should be. They're all fantastic in their own ways.
Right, yeah.
Few could be injury prone, mostly Joel Embiid. But
Your mic is peaking just a tad. Go ahead,
okay.
a little bit further.
I'm gonna say Joel and maybe Zion. We'll see. Hopefully he gets healthier by then.
Okay.
But
fair.
starting point guard, it's a toss up. I am gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna put Jalen Brunson starting.
Okay.
I just think hopefully 4 years from now he's gonna step up to probably MVP convos in most of league circles. If the Knicks are really good. Depends how he performs as well. But I'm going off of right now.
Okay.
Hallie, I think, is going to be there as well. But
Jalen didn't even make my team.
Who?
He just wanted to say that.
Jalen
didn't make my team.
You are a fake Knicks fan. Shooting guard, I think.
Did he actually not make your team?
He didn't even make my team.
That's kind of
That's
fucked.
crazy. Let's go.
That's
Hey,
kind of fucked.
based
Did
AF.
he make your team?
No.
That is, you both are fucked
He
up.
did not
people.
make my team.
I think shooting guard, I think this is the one lock we all have. It's Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Word.
I can see the argument for D-Book, but I have Ant. Ant's going to be on a different level in 4 years.
Yeah.
Small forward as well. Jason Tatum should be starting. Hopefully he will start.
Hopefully.
Power forward, a bit of a toss-up, but I'm going to go with Paolo Banchero.
Okay.
Wait, isn't he Italian though?
Yeah, but he already
he plays for
declared
Team
for the U.S.
Did he
Yeah.
actually?
He
Yeah.
played in the FIBA.
Oh, then I have to update my list then.
Okay.
Good to know.
And then at center, I'm going to have a player that's not in the NBA right now, but it's going to be Cooper Flag.
He is
Wow.
not. He is not a center, buddy.
He's like a
He's a
power
small
forward,
forward.
He's a small
Small
forward.
forward, power forward.
He's an oversized small forward.
Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Anthony might have fucked up on some
Anthony
research.
definitely fucked up on some research. He's definitely a center in high school.
Oh,
He's huge.
Wait. I'm
But he's definitely not a center. There's no way.
6'9". Okay, you know what?
Swap him with someone
Excuse me.
else. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Move him to your bench.
Well, he's going to be on the bench, correct?
yeah.
Why did I think
He seems like he's bigger than he actually is. That's
Okay.
fair.
I'm very
I'll cut you some slack.
okay? That's fine. Easily Anthony Davis.
Ooh,
That
okay.
starts-
I agree. He'll be 34 in 4 years, so
He
he's
should
still
be
within
playing.
age.
That's fair.
I think him over Bam. You can't mess that up.
I don't know if he'll be starting by 34.
I got Bam over AD, but
Yeah.
we'll get into that.
So
know.
do you want to?
No, it depends how well he is in 4 years.
Of
Right,
course,
That's
Bam's
I'm going
younger.
off of right now.
So wait,
Bam's younger.
Just to
Yes.
confirm, you've gone with Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Paolo Banchero, Anthony Davis, correct?
yes.
Okay. I agree in the sense of the second, third, and fourth with Edwards, Tatum, and Paolo. I don't think Anthony Davis will be a starter by then because I do think Bam and them will be in their prime, and I just can't see Brunson getting much better than this.
I agree.
I think he's kind of peaked. He's not. I think he still has a little bit more to improve on, but I still think he's not going to take that ultra leap
Yeah,
based on his playing style.
I think last season was his best season.
yes.
I don't think he's gonna have another season like that. I think he's still gonna be absolutely super effective for his team.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna have
I will
a season
say
like that again.
the replacements are significantly younger and could be better in 4 years.
Right, yeah.
So could easily swap one of them in
Yeah.
for
That is
him
fair.
and no problem.
So I've gone for semi the same. I've obviously agreed with the front court and the shooting guard. So I've gone with Tyrese Halliburton as my starting point guard, Anthony Edwards at the 2, Jason Tatum at the 3, Paolo Banchero at the 4, and Bam Adebayo at the 5. That is my starting 5.
Wait, who's your shooting guard?
Anthony
Oh,
Edwards.
Okay, and your point guard is Halliburton.
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's too much scoring. You need that elite playmaker, and I think Hallie's the only one that can do that.
Agreed.
So
And for me, I kind of have the same lineup as you guys, except for so it's Tyrese, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, 1, 2, 3. Then my 4.
So sorry.
You're good. My 4 is actually Zion Williamson.
Okay.
I got Zion instead of Paolo Banchero.
I will also throw this out there. Evan Mobley is in the conversation as well.
Mobley, yeah.
Mobley can be in
Well,
there.
Mobley, he's my reserve.
I really over Zion.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Evan Mobley's like I said, Evan Mobley in 4 years could be really good.
If Mobley is really good, I think he's starting center.
We'll have to see. But right now, I think
You know what?
Bam's proven more right now.
Well, we'll see how he is in 4.
Right. But Bam will
Just-
be in his prime by then. Bam's just entering his prime now.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to replace Zion
With Mobley.
with Mobley.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
I actually like that, Anthony. Thank you for saying that because Zion, I feel like he's a little too injury prone.
yeah.
Do you see he looks a lot skinnier now?
He does look a lot skinnier, and that is very hopeful.
We'll need,
very hopeful
we'll need
now.
to see it to believe it.
Exactly.
No more eating. He's fasting.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have like a
Zion's-
bold.
It's called Zion's fasting.
Okay.
Now.
I'm gonna have a bold
Sorry.
prediction. And I'm gonna put Mobley as the starter, as the
Yeah,
starting
I-
power
I'm-
forward.
I think it's definitely a viable option for him to start. I just think it would be at the center because I don't think he's starting over Paolo.
Okay,
I just can't see it personally.
right.
But
Okay.
I don't hate it.
Okay,
You wanna
and then
go-
Bam Adebayo is my center.
Yeah, I agree in the sense of Bam at the 5. So
All right.
starting 5's not bad.
You want to go to the bench?
Yeah, let's go to the bench. Give us your second 5.
Okay. I have Tyrese as the backup point guard.
Okay.
Maxey,
No, Hal.
Hallie.
Shooting guard, Devin Booker's the backup. And I also threw Jalen Suggs in there
Ooh.
as
As a 3?
as the backup shooting guard.
Oh, well, we didn't
Oh,
get
no,
to that
yeah,
unit
we're getting
yet.
that yet.
We'll get there
It's
later.
only the next 5. The
Oh,
full lineup.
Oh,
yeah.
second unit. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
second.
sorry.
You do not.
I'm like, what?
No, backup small forward is Jalen Brown.
Okay.
Yes.
Backup power forward is Chet Holmgren. And backup center, Bam Adebayo.
Ooh, okay.
I like the Chet pick.
Yeah, the Chet pick's good. Your backup point guard was Tyrese Halliburton, and then who was your backup shooting guard?
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker, that's right. Okay.
And then Jalen Brown's going to have to be there.
Yes. Mine is a little bit different in the sense of that. So I actually, I'm trying to remember what oh wait, I have it right here. Sorry, my thing got all fucked up. So I kind of ran into a crossroads between Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker as the backup too.
Yep.
I was very torn. It's so tough, man. I really have no idea. I think because Booker's got the history with Team USA, I think I'm going to give the edge to him.
Yeah.
So I have Ja Morant as my backup point guard.
That's a good shout.
Good guy.
I have Devin Booker at my 2. I have Jaylen Brown at my 3. I have Cooper Flagg at my 4. And I have Chet Holmgren at my 5.
I like it.
Cooper Flagg should be there for me, but he's going to be part of reserves,
Okay.
I think.
That is fair.
I like it, though. I like that team.
Your backup big is Anthony Davis.
No, Chet Holmgren.
Oh, Chet Holmgren.
Anthony Davis is in my reserves.
Is reserves.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can't trust Bro's durability. I just don't know.
Well, yeah, it's based on 4-year trajectory.
Exactly.
We'll see.
He might not even make my team, low-key.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a couple hot picks in here.
Okay.
I'm going to have Ja Morant as well as my
Yes.
backup point guard.
Based.
But at my shooting guard, it's not going to be Devin Booker. It's going to be Jaylen Brown at the shooting guard. And I'm going to have Scotty Barnes at my small forward.
He was a last-second change for me.
Yeah, Scotty?
Yeah, no, I
Moved
didn't
him
put
off the
Scotty
second. I
on
put him in
there.
the reserves.
Yeah.
So Scotty's my backup small forward behind Tatum.
Yep.
And then I'll go with, what's his name? Paolo Banchero for my backup power forward behind Mobley.
Yep.
And then Chet Holmgren at center.
At 5. Okay.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate that at all,
Telling you.
actually. It's pretty good.
Shout out to Fetty. I did that for you, bro.
So now
The reserves.
Three reserves.
The last 5.
last 5.
Well, yeah, obviously the, third unit.
I'm going to throw Cooper Flagg in there.
Okay.
I will throw Ja Morant in there over Fox, Maxey, and Cade.
Okay.
I'll throw Donovan Mitchell in there. I'll throw Mobley in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
What are their positions?
So Mobley's going to be backup center. Ja backup point guard. Donovan Mitchell starts shooting guard. Cooper Flagg small forward.
Power forward.
Just need a 4.
Mikal Bridges is there.
He is
Bro,
not a
not
power
a 4.
forward.
Not a 4.
But
Also not making the team.
Yeah.
but Scotty, Triple J, J-Dub, Zion. Going off of just pure, also being healthy. Scotty's always healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw Scotty in that last spot.
He's the 4?
I love how we mentioned Jalen Suggs and then didn't mention him.
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I don't wait. Why? I love how he didn't make the team over Donovan Mitchell. Like, come on.
Yeah. Wait. Wait. You know why? Because I was not looking at. Oh. Okay. Wait. You know what?
Don't
Yeah,
boost
I'm throwing Suggs off. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
That was like a high fly pick for me. I'm gonna take him off.
That's
All right.
an insane pick.
I went for a last second change with mine. I originally had Tyrese Maxey on here, but I took him off.
Okay.
So I have Cade Cunningham as my backup, as my third point guard. My 2 is going to be Jaylen Brown. My 3, I've gone for a very off the walls ballsy pick for AJ DeBansta.
Who?
AJ DeBansta is projected to be the number 1 pick in the 2026 draft.
I don't know.
And
who
he's
that
projected
is.
to be insanely good, just
Right.
below tier of Cooper Flag. And I
Okay.
think depending on where he goes, I think he could wind up being someone on the team. Because basically, in my opinion, it's kind of a toss up between him and if I take him off, I'll put Jaylen Brown at my 3, and I'll put Donovan Mitchell at my 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's either that. So it's either I would probably say Cade at the 1. Then I'd probably say either Jaylen Brown or Donovan Mitchell. The 3 would either be Jaylen Brown or AJ DeBansta. At my 4 is Anthony Davis, and at my 5 is Evan Mobley. I took Zion off at the last minute.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, for me, it's gonna be. I had Tyrese Maxey on the list, but I had to go Trae Young instead
Ooh, I forgot about
because
Trae Young,
I
man.
really wanted shooting on the team, and I didn't see much shooting with Ja Morant, and Edwards isn't really known as a shooter. Kind of, I mean, he
Yeah.
can shoot, but he's not really known as a shooter. So I was like, let's put Trae Young in there to replace Steph Curry.
Very
right?
fair, yeah.
So we got Trae Young, and then we got Devin Booker at the 2.
Yep,
Then Cooper Flag at the 3.
love it.
Anthony Davis at the 4. And Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 5.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the center position does not have a lot of depth,
Yeah.
is what I kind of seem to notice with
Yeah.
the U.S.
But we
If-
wanted some bigger guys,
If Embiid is
Yeah.
healthy,
No, but
he'll
Embiid
be
said
there.
he said he's gonna go to what's it
Yeah,
called? His country.
he's gonna now that he's got his medal, he's gonna
Right.
go dip back to Cameroon.
Cameroon, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Fair
and even
enough.
still, I don't. He might not even be playing in 4 years. We don't even know.
Right.
Yeah, there were some other shouts that were on like random like articles. Derek White, of course.
No.
Nah.
Mikhail, I said Brandon Miller.
No.
If he's good
Nah.
by then. Trey Murphy.
No.
the only one I can see.
J-Dub maybe.
The only Drew Holiday type player I could see making the team is Herb Jones. It's the only one.
Herb?
Yeah.
Herb.
You think he's that
Years
good?
from now.
Lock up defense.
Herb is good.
He's the best perimeter defender in the NBA, and I don't think it's close.
Herb is really good.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Let's
tried.
do coaches.
I tried very hard to make a case to put Cam Thomas in here. I just couldn't. If it could
you
change.
could put it for Japan.
Well, he could obviously play for the U.S. though.
Yeah.
So barring he takes that leap, he could be an option. But as of right now, I can't give it to him yet.
Overall, this is still a really good team.
Yeah.
It's a new era of USA basketball.
But it's not Curry, Durant, and Braun.
No.
Nah, it's a
Never.
new era.
Yeah.
It's what it is, which is perfectly fine.
Very fair.
Man,
But these are all good teams.
we've been spoiled, man.
Really have.
Yeah.
What the heck? I'm just realizing that Curry, Durant, and Braun, that's all we've known growing up.
Well, yeah,
crazy.
their time is almost over. It's
I
the
know.
new wave to come in.
know.
Yep. LeBron's already said he's not playing in the next one.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
No.
It's in the U.S. as well. He should close it out in the U.S.
He's probably going to retire next
He does
season.
not have an extra 4 years.
He does not. He barely has an extra one. He played 6 games in the Olympics and got tired.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's
it is
go
what it
coaches,
is.
though.
Yeah. All right. So Antoine, head coach, head assistant, backup assistant. This year it was Steve Kerr was the head coach this year, and then the 2 backups were Spoelstra and Ty Lue. So who do you think will take the job in 2028? Because Steve Kerr has officially stepped down as of today at the time of recording.
I have a hot name.
Okay.
Do not say Tom Thibodeau.
No.
Let's go.
Hear me out.
Okay, it's already off to a bad start.
JJ Redick.
Yo.
Oh.
He's on my list too.
He was not on my
He's
list.
not my head coach though. He's my reserve coach.
He was not on my list.
I like it.
I think JJ gets the head coach.
The head coach.
LeBron's going to pull some major strings, bro.
That is a great young, because you see Steve Kerr, older mind, couldn't get it done with the younger guys this year. Leave mostly Tatum on the bench, which shouldn't have been.
They still won.
Well,
So they still
yes,
won.
but
They still won.
I think JJ, he could be an assistant.
I don't even think he'll be coaching the Lakers by then.
No, don't write him off like that.
I was not saying it's not his fault. Remember, this is the Lakers we're talking about.
I think Spoelstra, 4 years from now, is he going to retire?
Why would Spoelstra retire in 4 years?
I think Spoelstra will be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ty Lue? Huh. What are other popular names I am forgetting?
I don't know.
Maybe a college coach.
Maybe, I don't know about Kenny A.
Nah.
Maybe Joe Mazzulla.
Ooh, that could be
Maybe.
a good
I
option,
like
actually.
Joe.
Yeah.
Yo.
Roll with that.
Put Joe Mazzulla on.
Why?
there. He's good.
He's
Joe
good.
Mazzulla.
Ime Udoka.
No. I could see Mazzulla getting the starting. You know what?
I can see
Mazzulla is
that.
going to be starting head coach.
I like it.
Okay.
Because Celtics are still going to be in their prime in 4 years.
Yes, he'll be right at the very end.
Yeah, but I think they'll still be there.
Okay.
I think Joe gets the coaching gig, and I think he brings JJ and Spoelstra. So the young mind and then the old mind.
Okay.
And then Joe's in the middle.
That's fair.
I like it.
So I tried to make a case for Greg Popovich, but I don't think Bro wants to do it again.
That's so much fun, though.
It would have been fun, but I've gone for the latter. I've gone for Eric Spoelstra as the head coach. He deserves the opportunity, and I think he'll do a great job coaching Team USA. Ty Lue is my first assistant coach. I think he does right by his guys, and I think he'll kind of do the job. I've gone for such an underrated call for my second head coach. I've gone with Jamal Mosley.
I don't know who that is.
Orlando.
Okay.
That was the
Magic head
finalist
coach.
of the year, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
That's a good shout.
I think that Magic team is going to take leaps and bounds over the next couple of years. And I think he's definitely going to be a hot commodity on that Team USA market, especially with Paolo in my starting lineup. I think it makes the perfect sense for me specifically. So
Right.
I've gone with Spo as the head coach and then Tyronn Lue and Jamal Mosley as the assistants.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got pretty much those same guys, except I'm taking out Tyronn Lue. So Spoel's going to be my head coach. Tyronn Lue's not going to be on the staff
Oh,
because
JJ.
JJ will be on the staff,
okay.
but he's not going to be the second coach. Second coach, I got Joe Mazzulla, because you got to think about like who's going to be coaching good teams in 4 years. Like who has a bright future? That's what you got to think about.
Right.
So I think Joe Mazzulla does have a bright future with the Celtics, is for sure.
Remember, not every good coach is going to want to take the job. Like I don't think Michael Malone's going to want to do it.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, Mike Brown could be another great option.
Mike Brown, yeah.
Chris Finch.
Finch, I was thinking about him too, because Edwards' bright future over
Yeah,
there.
Chris Finch.
Yeah. And then JJ Redick is going to be my
First assistant.
dark horse for the first assistant.
Who's the
JJ
other
Redick.
one?
Do I need another assistant?
Yeah.
Only two.
Two.
He already said one of them, no?
So, yeah, I got three
Spoelstra
coaches
and
total.
Redick.
Yeah, he said Joe Mazzulla.
Oh, Joe. Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
not bad.
Those are rosters.
I think it could have been a lot worse. I think your starting point guard's a little bit of a yikes, but we won't talk about
I
it.
don't think it's a yikes.
He's not on any of our teams, and he's been a Knicks
You guys
apologist for
do
you
not
specifically.
You guys do not watch basketball.
Last time I checked, Jalen Brunson was leading a Team USA team back in 2022, and they didn't medal.
That's a FIBA fucking
Doesn't matter. We're still the
thing.
United States of America.
They didn't try.
Okay. That is cap.
They didn't try.
That is major
I am
cap.
exhausted right now, but they did not try.
Okay. You keep telling. But if it helps you sleep at night, then I guess fair play.
It does. And if they win in 2028, it's going to be a Jalen Brunson gold medal
If he's on the team.
if he's on the team.
If he's on the team, it's a big if. The Knicks could have blown it up by
Don't
now.
worry, he'll be winning finals.
With-
Hopefully.
MVPs.
He'll be winning finals with another team because the Knicks will blow it up.
No.
Yeah.
He wants those picks. We're
Jalen-
not giving him the picks.
Jalen Brunson will lose in the NBA Finals to a Cooper Flag Cam Thomas
Damn.
Nets.
Damn. Well, not in the finals, but
Yeah, no, he'll get traded to a Western Conference
Let's
team.
talk about it 5 years from now when we're in a different studio setup with people on that are behind the cameras yelling at us saying, shut the hell up. And then we move on.
But yeah, any final thoughts on this, lads?
no, sir.
No, I want to get to grading. It's
Yep.
my time.
Let's grade the West off seasons. All right, into the main segment, the meat and potatoes of the episode. So for those that are with the flow of the show, last week we graded the Eastern Conference teams off seasons. So today we're going to do the West. We're going to finish it up, and we'll kind of figure something else later on as far as future episodes go until we get to our preseason power rankings and our season predictions and all that stuff. You good, bro? It happens. So I will throw the floor over to Antoine, and he'll bring us into a random order for us to grade. So Antoine, take it away.
Welcome back to grading with yours truly. I don't know what I was supposed to say there. Anthony, the best Knicks fan.
Carmelo Anthony.
We're going to start with a pretty average offseason in Houston. They drafted Reed Shepherd. That is probably their only notable move besides trading for A.J. Griffin on draft night, along with returning Aaron Holiday on a 2-year deal.
Oh, hey, big deals.
Wait, what about that guy Montas?
That was the Bulls.
Oh, that was a Bull. I always get those red jerseys mixed
Reed
up.
Shepherd. So, what do we think of this somewhat... Well, Houston is already a deep team.
Yeah.
They added Reed Shepherd.
You can talk a little bit louder.
I think I'm talking really loud. But
Yeah.
So Houston, pretty stacked team already. I don't think they needed to add much. But Reed is a really good pickup regardless. They're going to be younger, of course. That's what the majority of their team is right now.
No, they got vets.
Some.
They have a few vets, actually.
Yeah. But it seems like it's another youth movement similar to Orlando and OKC. I don't think they needed to do much this offseason. I'm going to keep it at a B.
Okay. Well, for me, it's like they gave us our picks back in the hopes they can get Kevin Durant or Devin Booker next offseason. So they're kind of setting themselves up for long term. The projected starting lineup got Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, Alperen Şengün. Şengün's been in trade rumors a lot. Apparently they want to move on from him, but I don't know why you would want to do that. It doesn't really, I don't see much sense that would come of it as far as that goes. I think it's an outrage they did not bring back Boban. I think vibes are very low.
They could.
They're very low right now without Boban, Goatbon, Bobby, Boobin Marjanovic, the GOAT. But look, I mean, they do have veteran presence, right? Obviously, you got Fred, you have Jeff Green, you have Steven Adams now, Jock Landale. I think they're a team in good hands. And I don't think this offseason was particularly awful. I don't think it was particularly great. So I've kind of gone slightly above average. I gave them a solid B.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I personally think Reed Shepherd isn't as good as we think.
Ooh.
I think
Okay.
I think
he's a glorified Austin Reeves.
I think he's rookie of the year.
He's
Okay.
I don't think he's not my rookie of the year, but he's also a Rob Dillingham stan. So there's competition as
Yeah.
far as the Kentucky guards.
I think Reed is so fucking good.
Reed is good, but I think he's just a glorified Austin Reeves. I don't think he'll turn out to be that much of a big deal in the NBA.
I think he's a better Austin Reeves.
Yeah,
Reed.
glorified Austin
Are we comparing white guys that come in that are really good to prior white guys because they're going to be better than them?
Well, look, listen to what I'm saying. They kind of have the same play style.
Yeah.
Reeves has a decent handle. Reed Shepherd probably has a better handle. They both have decent vision. They can make passes pretty well. Yeah. They can both shoot it decently well. And they're both about the same height. They're both white with the same haircut. so it's like, yeah, I think he's going to turn out. I think that's his pro comparison right now.
Okay. I don't
think he'll be too much better than Austin Reeves. I think he'll give you like 15 points a game.
Who would you have taken then instead?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
Yeah,
because he was the best available. You had to go with him.
I'm taking Rob Dillingham.
Okay. Knew that was coming.
Yeah, you knew that was
over
coming.
Stephon Castle.
Stephon Castle would have been the better pick. I think him or Buzelis, but it is.
I just
what
like
it is.
Rob.
Yeah.
You do love Rob for whatever reason.
I just like Rob.
Robbie.
Okay. What would you give the offseason then?
The offseason overall, because of that very reason, I'm gonna give it a C.
Okay. He's a Reed hater already.
I'm not a hater.
Right from
I'm just
the
a
rip.
realist.
No, you're a hater.
I'm a realist.
You are a realistic hater.
Yet the funny thing will probably be once we have our fantasy draft, he's going to see Reed Shepherd. I need to get him. And he's going to draft him. Okay. Let's move on to another offseason that didn't start until pretty recently in Memphis because they did absolutely nothing until they re-signed Luke Kennard a few weeks ago to a 1-year deal. And they also acquired Mamadi Diakite from the Nets in a trade that sent Zaire Williams the other way. And that is it.
That's it.
I think the storyline in Memphis is not about this. It's about Ja Morant returning.
Sir,
Right.
They drafted Zach Edey.
They drafted Zach Edey.
About to say,
correct.
That's a huge.
That is I should be removed from grading duties. But yes, they did. I forgot. Listen, we don't care about Purdue players, okay? we beat them.
Bro lasted
They're
one
not.
episode
They're
of
not in
grading.
my mind. Yes, Zach Edey is a Memphis Grizzly as well. He's presumably going to be the starting center.
Yeah.
Draft
Actually,
night talks. Memphis was supposed to move up for Donovan Clingan. I think that was their preferred overall choice, but couldn't make it happen. Kind of panic moved to Zach Edey, but I don't think it's really a big panic move. I think Edey is still fantastic overall and should definitely solidify a big body in the paint for them.
He's actually not projected to start. Right now, their lineup.
Who is over him?
Their projected
Jaren.
lineup is Ja Morant, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Gigi Jackson, and Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need to start Zach Edey right now
don't.
because Memphis is trying to not contend, but they're trying to compete. And I think Zach Edey, you kind of bring him off the bench with like a Derrick Rose and a Luke Kennard, give him that spacing, give him the ball handling veteran experience that Derrick Rose brings, even at his old, ripe age. I think it'll work well.
Yeah. I see Zach Edey in the playoffs. Like if they go to the playoffs,
Yeah.
I see him playing big time minutes.
Yeah.
But I don't see him starting.
I see him kind of filling the
Derek Lively role.
a little bit less playing time than Derek Lively.
No, his body is not built for
Well,
Derek
yeah,
Lively minutes.
you know what I mean.
Right,
Like
he's
the
gonna get the
center that
same
comes
minute
off the bench and
spreads.
is
Yeah.
effective. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what I see from him. He reminds me also of like a Ivanka Zubac type player, but
Yes.
more upside, more potential.
Did you call him Ivanka?
I don't know how to say his name.
It's
Ivica?
Ivica.
Ivica Zubac.
Yeah.
Zubats?
Zubats.
Yeah, Zubats.
Yeah.
But no, I love Memphis. I think this is a team that's going to make the playoffs this year as a lower team outside of the play-in.
Yeah.
I don't think like same thing with Houston. They have depth. I don't think they needed to do much besides draft a big, and they did.
Yeah. Yeah. They signed their shooter.
Yep.
And they
That's
did sign
big time.
Their bench is deep.
They signed their shooter. They still have all-stars. What were you going to say, Tyler?
I have health concerns with Memphis, though.
Okay.
Because, yes, we obviously all know the off-the-court issue with Ja Morant, but he's not the most durable guy either to begin with. Marcus Smart, same deal. Spent most of the season injured last year. Desmond Bane gets banged up every now and then. We all know Jaren Jackson can't stay healthy to save the life of him.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Zach could be a problem as well.
Well, you
Sure.
never know.
Well, he got injured, right? He like twisted his ankle pretty
It
badly.
was Zach.
Yeah.
He's a big body build. He gets injured.
Yeah.
Not as fast.
And obviously, Derrick Rose
as well.
always
Yeah.
gets injured, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So does
Chronic
Brandon.
knee.
So does also Brandon Clark.
Well, he's
on the
coming off a torn
bench.
Achilles.
Yeah.
So
Brandon Clark as well.
they're going to ease him back. But I think they'll be more active at the deadline, get rid of some dead weight expiring contracts, and
Right.
kind of take it from there. But what do we grade the Memphis offseason? Let's go to you first, Gio.
Yeah, obviously, like Anthony said, they didn't do much. Signed their shooter, got Zach Edey. I think they did what they needed to do. I'll give them a B minus.
I gave them a B- as well. I think it could have been better, but it was pretty average. I'd say it's like the slightest bit above average because of the Edey pick.
Yeah.
But I don't really think it was that good of an offseason.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm unanimous. B minus. I think they have enough depth to get them there.
Yeah,
Very
Just
fair.
a lot about health.
Yeah,
for sure.
Don't forget Santi Aldama.
my guy.
Future Nick.
Don't forget-
trade deadline.
Don't forget John Conchar.
Yes, a big
I like
guy.
John.
He's
I
on.
like him.
He's on a big contract,
He'll be, he's on a smaller deal.
but getting significant money.
Yeah, not that. He's like on a team friendly, like 9 mil.
Yeah.
So not horrible,
No.
but who's
Okay.
the next team?
Let's move on to Minnesota.
Ooh, me.
Our
Minnesota.
Minnesota conference finals chokers of last year.
I mean, how did they choke? They got swept.
I don't know. I guess. So a pretty interesting offseason. They didn't really lose a ton of role players that helped out last year. Mainly the one was Kyle Anderson, who signed with the Warriors, and they went on to replace him with Joe Ingles and PJ Dozier. I think
PJ Dozier?
PJ Dozier.
Dozier.
And then the only re-signing was Luka Garza on a 2-year deal. And I guess Monte Morris is a notable departure. Other ones, nothing really major. And the other notable one is they did draft Robbie Dillingham, presumably to be Mike Conley's heir to the throne once he decides to hang it up.
Yep.
And that's going to form a formidable backcourt duel with Ant and Rob.
Beautiful.
Presuming if Rob is as good as advertised.
As good as Gio advertised.
Well, let me tell you this. Actually, let me start off with Kyle Anderson.
Yeah.
Fun fact, my friend actually who works with me in PT, he actually is good friends with Kyle Anderson.
Really?
Yeah, I just learned this last week. He took a picture with him and everything. They're actually decent friends. He actually helped him like recover from injuries and stuff like that. So
yeah,
pretty cool. But he's gone now. So
yeah.
And he was really good for them in the playoffs. So I would say that's a semi big loss for them.
Yeah.
But they replaced him with PJ Dozier, and I think he has a lot of work to do in the NBA. I think he's a guy with a lot of potential. I watched him play in the Thunder, and I'm like, yeah, this guy could be really good. He just needs that confidence, and I think he can get that from coach.
Yeah.
And of course, Rob Dillingham, A+.
A+ is crazy.
It's an A+ offseason. You'll see. Look, this will age well.
Take.
This will age well.
It will age well, but as far as like how does this offseason help with them now?
Is that the question?
Yeah, because that's what we're grading them on.
Okay, so if that's the question, how does it help them now?
Yeah.
A+.
Okay.
Listen, the Rob pick is phenomenal because they traded up to get him.
Yes.
But Kyle Anderson was a major veteran presence in the playoffs. Now, Joe Ingles is great as well. Joe is great.
Did nothing for the Magic in that series.
But that's
fine.
Joe's old and fat.
Leave Dad by Joe. Yeah, he's okay. I think they should have gotten a more sturdier veteran presence.
Yeah, I would agree. Right now, their projected starting lineup is as advertised as last year. So Conley, Ant, McDaniels, Cat, Gobert.
Yeah.
Nikhil Alexander's still there, right?
He's a backup shooting guard.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So your backup units: Rob, Nikhil, Ingles, Naz Reid, Luka Garza.
Beautiful.
No, it's Rob Dillingham, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Joe Ingles, Josh Mino, who they got last year, and then Naz Reid. They also drafted Terrence Shannon Jr. later in the first round. He'll get some spot minutes.
Okay.
Luka Garza impressed me last year as far as like his burn during the second half of the season. Was getting good minutes in against Jokic and against Chet and against a lot of these like bigs in the West that the West has to offer, and he really started to come into his own. He can even shoot the ball now. So they'll probably ease his minutes up here and there. I don't think he'll play all that much. But as far as the Wolves' offseason goes, I don't think it was that good. But I also don't think it was that bad either. I gave them a B-. I think they stood pat on Cat, which was a mistake. I think they needed to move him, if I'm being completely honest with you. Because you can't move Gobert, that you're stuck with that contract forever. And Cat gets you back a really good return. He'll get you back, I think, at least 2 firsts and maybe a swap and another young up-and-coming star that could easily help Anthony Edwards out in 3 to 4 years. So, now granted, there's still time to do that, whether you do it at the deadline or next offseason.
You know what I think happens? Bold prediction?
Yeah.
I think Timberwolves end up trading for KD.
Ooh.
Using Cat.
Really? Is Phoenix going to want Cat, though? I feel like they're just trading.
I think they would. Cat and Book?
I think you're just trading for a bigger DeAndre Ayton.
But think about it, though. Cat and Book,
yes, but
they were teammates.
They were, but Cat is soft, and they already went through that with DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges.
Well, look.
So
I think Booker likes Cat.
Obviously.
And I think Cat is a good player. I don't think he's as soft as we think he is.
Oh, no, he definitely is.
He definitely is zesty.
He definitely is soft. That is for sure. As far as work, I still think KD is going to probably wind up either in Houston or Miami. I think they might use the Heat could use the Jimmy Butler contract to do a sign and trade to get KD, if Phoenix so wants to take him on, or they're going to use Şengün's money to get KD with the picks that we got from Phoenix.
But does KD want to play in Houston? I don't think so.
It's not that he doesn't want to play in Houston. I think at that point it'll just be whoever has the best chance to win. And I think if you're Phoenix, if you're Matt Ishbia and he wants to go, you're going to have to ship him to where he wants. And I think it's going to be either Houston or Miami. I think those are the only two options, unless
Timberwolves are going to be a great team in the future.
they
as
will. Yes.
KD, Gobert, Ant. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. Low key, if we become good in 3 years, I low key could see him requesting back to us. We won't do it. We for sure won't do it.
Yeah.
But I would like to see KD suit up in the black and white again, but I know it's not going to happen. But yeah, I gave them a B-. I think they could have done a lot better this offseason.
Yeah.
I think they were a little passive, in my opinion. That team could stagnate very quickly. What would you give it, Antoine?
I'll give it a C.
See?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they replaced Kyle Anderson well. Robbie saved them a good amount. If they didn't draft Robbie, I think this is a lower D offseason.
Wow.
Fair.
Overall.
Okay.
No improvements.
Okay.
That's,
Fair enough.
And this team made improvements that we're going to get into. Your Western Conference champions of last year made improvements drastically.
They did?
Dallas? I think they made pretty drastic improvements.
Well, we'll see. Let's talk about it.
So the drastic improvements that I am speaking of is, of course, Klay Thompson and Najee Marshall. Along with, I guess, somewhat notable Quentin Grimes and Spencer Dinwiddie. Nothing really noticeable besides Klay and Najee Marshall taking over the roles. Najee taking over for Derek Jones Jr., who left, and Klay essentially replacing
Josh Green.
Yeah, Josh Green, Tim Hardaway, but he'll presumably start. So that would move Najee Marshall to the bench.
Yep.
And draft picks, they didn't draft anybody.
Nope.
So that's pretty much it. But
Okay.
they improved. I can't talk. They improved drastically more than Minnesota did.
Okay.
I think.
I wouldn't say drastically.
I do think drastically.
You think drastically?
Drastically.
Yes.
I wouldn't say drastically because I still don't view them as a contender, even though they went to the finals. I know that sounds crazy.
No, they're a contender.
Yeah, but
I know that sounds crazy, but I don't see them as a contender.
That's where I'll disagree with you. Just
Okay.
because you're
The
a
whole
contender
squad is
doesn't
bad.
mean you improve drastically. Because, yes, Dallas improved drastically on their roster. Minnesota just kept the same contending squad they had. So they didn't drastically improve. It's the same team, essentially, without Kyle Anderson. I think Dallas definitely adjusted where need be. Because, you had Tim Hardaway Jr. fucking stinking it up last year.
He just didn't get minutes. He can shoot it, though.
Yeah, but even when he got
No,
minutes, he
he's
wasn't
at-
playing well.
He's at the end of
So
his time.
you go in, you get some upgrades on him. Josh Green is fine. Josh Green still has a lot to improve on. But you go out and get 3-and-D Najee Marshall, and you go out and get Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, that contract will turn awful in 3 years, but it is what it is. You bite the bullet to try and keep Luka happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I see it as far as that goes. I don't really. This team is very loaded right now.
Right.
They're definitely going to move off some guys in February. Not sure who exactly.
Yeah.
But
They're
definitely
a very win now team.
They really are, but I don't know if they have the tools to win.
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
Right now, their projected starting lineup is Luka, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford.
It's a great team.
It's a good team, respectable team.
You know what? I'll take it back. They're contenders,
They are.
but they're not
I wouldn't.
necessarily favorites at all.
I wouldn't
in my
put them.
opinion.
I wouldn't say they're
Even for the West. I don't think they come out of the West.
I would say they're a high tier playoff team. I would not call them a contender.
Yeah, I agree with that actually.
I put them in the same category as
Minnesota.
no, because I think Minnesota could contend, but I low key could see them in the same category as like a combination of Minnesota and Phoenix.
Okay.
If you take the best parts of both of them,
Okay.
that's kind of what it is. They just don't have the players for it.
Yeah. So overall, I would probably give this. I'll give this a B plus, because they didn't really get anything for the future, but they're in a win now situation, so I understand it completely. B plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went a little bit higher. I was a little more generous. I gave them an A minus. I just think the upgrades they made were just the right upgrades they needed to make with what they had. There was really not much else they could do. And look, why not just go for Klay Thompson? It's one of those just like fuck it moves. And if it works, great. If not, you just kind of you swallow that pill. Didn't give it an A plus or an A because that Klay contract was oof.
Yeah.
I don't know why they gave that to him, but
It's a Hall of Fame contract right there.
Hall of Fame contract, 3 years, like 50-something million. Yikes. But what do you give it, Antoine?
I give it a B.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not. It's good, but it's not drastically, I guess, like Philly's offseason.
Yeah, I would say for me, I
But
think
they improved.
I think like Philly and Indy set the bar as far as like what you can do in an off season. I think Brooklyn did too on the other end of the spectrum as far as like getting all your assets and kind of choosing a direction to tank and get your future back in order.
Yeah.
I think those are the only two ways you can have a good off season.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's the next team?
Let's move up northwest to be exact, to Portland. Portland had a interesting, quiet middle off season. They traded for Denny Avdija on draft night. They also signed Devontae Graham to a 1-year deal. And in that Wizards trade, they also sent Malcolm Brogdon to Washington, which returned Denny Avdija. And they also drafted Donovan Clingan with their first-round pick.
Bit perplexing. I'm surprised they went with him. I think this means that Ayton's going to be on the trade block.
Yes.
And I'm not, I still don't know why they traded for him in the first place. Really never made sense. He was just kind of in the crossfire. He signed that deal with. Could you imagine if they didn't match and he signed with Indy? They wouldn't have had Miles Turner.
No.
So
Yeah.
definitely interesting, but they fleeced the fuck out of Washington in that Denny Avdija trade.
Yeah, they did.
They won that now. I can confidently say that. Denny Avdija is going to play very well at that starting small forward. Projected depth chart, starting lineup: Scoot Henderson at the 1, Anthony Simons, Denny Avdija, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton. This team still sucks, but
Yes.
They're a little bit better.
they're a little bit more fun
Yeah.
than just like the brain rot of last year.
Yeah.
I assume Ayton gets moved and then Clingan steps in. Ayton may be a Nick at the deadline.
That's what I told you a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what you guys put into my head, which I
That
don't
is
like.
the hope. Although I did see Mitchell Robinson cooking in an open gym. Did you see that?
I did see that.
He was cooking. He was looking like Kevin Durant in his prime. But
I
anyways.
don't think Ayton would be the right move for them.
No,
they
it's
need
not.
they need a big bully ball guy.
Yeah.
Like who? Kenny Lofton.
Kenny
Hey,
Lofton.
I know a guy.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. There's a really mid center that would really cook for y'all, and his name is Clint Capella.
Yes.
He kind of would.
But there's also another guy that left us in Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
but he's
buddy.
not coming back.
No way he's coming. No.
Okay.
You'd have, the Thunder would ask you for like Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back
What
to
are you gonna
Portland.
I would grade.
I like Portland. They have a nice team coming up, but they're just not right now.
They really do. It's just
Shaden Sharp needs
Who
to
do they
play
draft?
more.
Donovan Clingan.
Donovan Clingan, the center from.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'll give them. They improved a little bit. So
They did.
I guess I'll just give them a B.
Yeah.
Average B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay, I was originally thinking B, but based on the fact that they just torched Washington in that trade, I had to give them an A minus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, like
fair
I don't
enough.
know, I don't know. Denny Avdija should not have been moved, and the
Nope.
return they got for him is even worse.
I think you value Denny Avdija a lot more than.
I think
No, he was
Denny
great.
Avdija was like top 5, top 6 in the most improved player.
Yeah. He is.
So I think he's highly sought after young prospect, and I think he's
Yeah.
going to cook.
Yeah. No. He'll be a future All-Star. Correction.
Not about
Yes.
future all-star,
We'll see.
but
I think he
elite
will.
role player at the very least.
He can get some shots.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So what would you grade it, Antoine?
I'll give it a B plus.
B
Just
plus
for Clingan and Avdija.
Yeah,
Two good pickups.
The fact
Good
that
job.
Clingan fell to 7 when he could have easily gone 1 is
Yes.
unreal. So you have to take that.
Yeah. Let's go to another mid/nothing really notable in Los Angeles with the Lakers.
Bronny
Only
James.
things that have
Bronny
came,
James.
is LeBron James and his son have
Yes.
joined forces.
Let's
Max
go.
Christie returns on a 4-year deal, and,
Gio, it's you.
and Dalton,
hair.
and then Connect 4, Dalton Connect, is their lottery pick, which I found to be the best pick in the draft for value because he fell so far.
No, I would say Isaiah Collier was more impressive. The fact that he
Yes,
fell
I
29.
agree. That's a good shot, but I think Connect for where he was, he should have been taken a lot higher,
Yeah.
and JJ got a nice pick for him. So I think this is a B off season because they didn't really do much.
A B off season. That's crazy. That is generous.
We knew LeBron was coming back.
This was one of the worst. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the worst off seasons in my opinion.
Well, they hired JJ Redick, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a coach. coach.
He's going to be a coach, but my God, this roster sucks, man. Come on. He's going to have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, your projected starting lineup, D'Lo, Reeves, LeBron, Hachimura, and AD.
Same as last year.
AD, obviously, we know the durability issues with AD. D'Lo's gone in February. I think we can all agree on that. I think Austin Reeves is gone in February as well. LeBron, let's just see how much motor he has kind of going in. And Rui's just okay at this point.
I don't like Rui.
He's
not even okay.
He's just
I'm telling you, you got to replace the power forward.
But
right now.
Look, the only reason I didn't give this an F is because Dalton Connect was a steal in the draft. But you gave Bronny James $8 million.
Yeah.
Which could have went to a middle role player.
I'm not saying it could have gone to a middle role player. Just give him something a little bit less than that. He's improved anything. But
LeBron threw in $6 million.
Okay, yeah.
He probably did.
Probably did. It's basically his team at this
Probably
point.
did, yeah.
But look, I don't care how good of a coach JJ Redick is. This team is not making it out the first round of the playoffs.
Wow.
Barring a miracle.
I got faith.
He's probably going to get blamed for everything too.
He shouldn't.
Bronny James will.
Yeah, Bronny James definitely will. I'm curious to see how much they play him in the first week. But to me, this offseason stunk. I gave this a straight D. This is one of the worst in the NBA, in my opinion.
Well, I'm happy to say that I have some faith in the Los Angeles Lakers, okay?
You're a former Lakers fan, so it only adds up.
I am a former Lakers fan. I think that Connect, I like the pick. A good shooter. He has decent size. Bronny James. Let's go, buddy. It's your time. It's time. It's your time. Let's go. Okay? And then JJ Redick. I think he's going to end up being a really fantastic coach.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
That is one thing I stand by.
And
he'll be a great coach, just not for a good team.
Yeah, but one thing I wish the Lakers did, or maybe they'll do this later on in the season, is replace Rui Hachimura, or at least have him come off the bench because he is abysmal.
Well,
his awareness is terrible.
Bro, who's going to replace him? Jared Vanderbilt? He shot like 20%
Honestly, yes.
from three.
Bro
is even worse.
I don't care.
I think
Get Rui out.
If you're gonna replace someone, you put LeBron at the 4 and you play like Cam Reddish or Dalton.
No,
Connect.
you move Reeves.
Put Dalton Connect in.
No, you move Reeves to small forward. Put Gabe Vincent.
No.
Reeves
is 6'3",
at
bro.
Small forward. The man shorter than me at small forward.
Reeves is like my height, maybe like an inch taller, bro.
I think he's literally like your build, just a little less jacked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of sad. But
I think based off of the biases we're going on, we have to do Denver last. We have to get to the.
We are doing Denver
okay,
last.
Good.
Denver is the last team we're doing. I'm glad you guys caught on.
Yeah. I can't with the Lakers. I'm sick and tired of people just thinking the Lakers are going to be like this contender, like the best team ever. Like, no.
They have to do one thing. They have contenders.
They have the greatest player to ever touch a basketball, and they suck. Like, it happens every time.
Yeah.
They just need to do one thing, and I'll tell you what it is right now.
Well, I know what the one thing is. They need to just avoid the Nuggets in the playoffs.
Okay, well, that too. That's definitely a one thing. But two things they need to do: avoid Nuggets, and number two, they need to get a big man, like a center. AD needs to be playing power forward. He should not be playing center.
Yes.
They need to get like a Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee type player that they had in 2020. If they can get that, they could be not contenders, but they can go to like second round, second, third round.
Second round's the peak for us. Crazy.
But come on, that's all they need.
That's true. So wait, what are the grades again for the Lakers? I gave them a D. You gave them a
B minus.
B minus? Okay. That's fair. We'll kind of come to the conclusion that it was an average offseason as far as like us concurrently.
All right.
So next team.
We're going to move cross town into a dome.
Not across town anymore.
Not across town.
On the other side. It's in Englewood, I think.
Yes. To the Clippers and their new Intuit Dome opening up in the new season upcoming with a new team that looks really bad. The big thing, they lost Paul George, of course. They lost Mason Plumlee, Daniel Tice. They bought out Russell Westbrook.
Damn.
Can you remind the folks at home what they got back for Paul George?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
Nothing.
Lawrence,
not even a sign and trade.
I think we can even stop right there and just start grading right now.
I have questions for Lawrence Frank, man. I don't know what went on? Like, I don't know what happened, but
they replaced some washed-up veterans with even more washed-up veterans.
Oh my God.
With Mo Bamba,
What a franchise.
Chris Dunn, Kevin Porter Jr., who's coming overseas back over.
Wow.
The Chris Dunn pickup was good.
I don't know.
He's okay.
Chris Dunn's going to be, based on how this team is, he's going to produce.
I think the two notable roles were Derek Jones Jr. coming over. My voice.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
And Nick Batum, and then, of course, Harden returned.
Nick Batum is back?
No.
Yes, Nick Batum's back.
Yes. Nick Batum.
Back to the Clippers?
Fourth quarter, Nick Batum is back in L.A.
Well, look,
Nick Batum. And then James Harden returns on a 2-year deal.
Okay.
That's all they've done.
2 years,
I'll tell you
$70 million
this.
is crazy, by the way.
They have, what's his name? Chris Dunn is set up to be an all-star on this team.
You mean Terrence Mann?
Oh, Terrence
too,
Mann.
yeah.
Terrence Mann. My bad.
Chris Dunn is
Well, they kind of play the same almost, but
They
Terrence
kind of
Mann.
do. I'm not going to lie.
Terrence Mann, I meant
Chris
to say.
Dunn is a much better defender than Terrence Mann, but
They're
that's
both
besides
pretty
the
good,
point.
actually. Terrence Mann's decent.
Chris Dunn is very good.
Is he?
Defensively, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
They're both about the same height. I know that.
Right now,
Terrence Mann plays pretty big, though.
projected starting lineup: James Harden, Terrence Mann, Kawhi Leonard, barring health, Derek Jones Jr., Ivica Zubats. So you already
Honestly, not bad.
You have a 6'6", 6'7" Derek Jones Jr. at the power forward. That's a bit of a yikes.
Yeah, he's going to
But-
get bodied.
It happens. They still have Norman Powell. They still have Amir Coffey.
Yep.
It's honestly not bad.
This
But-
offseason was horrid, bro.
Horrible offseason.
Oh,
But their team is...
Is Boo Boo Kaka.
But listen, if Kawhi's healthy, if Harden's healthy, what do we think? Do
You
they
mean
make playoffs?
you mean Pancake Flapjack?
I don't know who that is.
Who?
James Harden.
No, Honey Bun Milkshake. Bro, they're still paying PJ Tucker. He's still on the roster.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point.
Ty Lue is gonna have an interesting.
Well, what do we think though? Are they an 8 seed? Are they
They are player
10
playing
seed?
team. They
Playing
will
team.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. If Kawhi misses significant time, they're not even making the play.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
I don't believe in them at all anymore. I tried with the Clippers. It's just like, you try and root for them. They're the little brother. They're the California version of the Nets.
Yeah.
But they just seem to just disappoint. They fall short so often.
Yeah, I never cared about them, especially after Russ left. It's over with.
Knew that was coming. What would you grade it, though?
Grading this is an F. Easy F.
F? So, yeah, I was originally going to give them a C. Then they lost Paul George for nothing, so that gives them a D. And they signed Kevin Porter Jr., so that moved him down to an F. However, the Chris Dunn pickup was good, so I gave them an F+.
Okay.
This was my worst offseason in the entire NBA.
An F plus.
Yeah.
F+.
Hilarious.
They didn't.
I even know that was
improve at
possible.
all.
It's not. I just made it up.
I like it though.
Yeah. What would you give it, Antoine?
D minus.
Okay, that's also not. He's also one he made up.
No, I
What?
think D minus is a thing.
It's
D
not.
minus is a thing.
Once you go below C minus, it's just D.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure D minus was.
I don't think there's a D plus, but maybe he's right.
Yeah, there's none.
Okay.
It's just the straight letter.
I'll give it
F.
D minus.
Honestly, if you in school, if you get a D, it doesn't matter whether there's a plus or a minus. It's a D.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yeah,
How many teams we got left?
I think we're only halfway through.
I think we're halfway through.
Okay.
We're gonna stay in California and head up north to Lighting the Beam.
Oh yes, the
And-
Beam team.
And the Beam team has made some interesting moves. Most notably, DeMar DeRozan is now a member of their very own Sacramento Kings people. Whatever I don't know what I was going with that. Well, I don't know what the Kings fans' names are.
The
Kings
people.
fans.
Kings fans.
The
DeMar
Kings
DeRozan.
the Beam team.
They're getting a washed up DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion. But we'll see. I could be wrong.
Maybe they're getting a revitalized.
Yo.
Yeah, I would
Oh.
hope. They, of course, brought back Malik Monk on a 4-year deal.
Good.
Alex Len returns to be a backup big,
Mid.
along with Jalen McDaniels, Jordan McLaughlin, and Orlando Robinson. And the main departures, of course, Harrison Barnes left to the Spurs in the DeMar DeRozan sign and trade,
Okay.
along with Chris Duarte, and they traded off Davion Mitchell
Good.
and Sasha Vezenkov to Toronto for Jalen McDaniels.
Good. This is good.
This is I'm going to give it a B.
I think this is a solid offseason.
It's a
This
I'm
was
happy
a
they got.
great offseason.
Yeah, very solid for me.
Getting dollars on the penny, getting dollars on the penny, I think is what they did, right? I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's sad to see Harrison Barnes leave that team because he just seemed to be so like the
At
perfect
home.
fit. Yeah, he felt so at home. I think now with Wemby, he's gonna love it down there in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But I mean, DeMar DeRozan, yes, we know his playoff struggles are a thing. right? DeMar DeRozan is real. It's probably going to happen again. But he doesn't have to take on as big of a role with this team because I think right now their projected lineup is De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. I think this team is very complete as far as it goes, right? Because, I mean, De'Aaron Fox is going to be your first option, your primary scorer. Him and Domantas Sabonis are going to do the dirty work. I think DeMar DeRozan just adds to the firepower, and then you have Keegan Murray and Kevin Huerter for spacing. I mean, Kevin Huerter will probably get flipped at the deadline, but if that five stays together with Malik Monk as a sixth man, this team's cooking, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And not even to mention, they still have Keon Ellis. They still got Trey Lyles. And
they did draft Devin Carter.
But he's going to miss the 6 months with a shoulder surgery.
He's going to miss. That's another good pickup, though. Really good college.
So he'll be good later on once other guys leave and everything like that. The only piece that is still kind of unknown right now is JaVale McGee. So also another just vibes are a little bit lower now that JaVale McGee is left. But to me, I mean, this was a great offseason, to be honest. I think Jalen McDaniels, too, is a big upgrade on Davion Mitchell. Obviously, he's not as good as his brother, but he's still just solid nonetheless. So I'm probably going to give Sacktown an A.
Okay.
I like it. I think I agree with pretty much everything you just said. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give him an A also. I'm happy they got Davion Mitchell out of town. He wasn't doing anything for the team.
Yeah.
And they got a good player in replace for him, a decent player. So,
yeah. Okay.
I think the only reason it's not an A+ is I think you probably could have gotten back maybe a couple more pieces in that trade. Not sure exactly, but
they could have.
They could have. And I think you just kind of need to shore up that backup front court. It's a little weak. But as far as I know, this Kings team needs to work. Otherwise, there's going to be some major league question marks. They did extend Mike Brown as well. So we'll kind of see what happens as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But
I give it a B.
Yeah.
B+ almost. I'll bump it up a little bit.
Next
we're going to stay in Cali and knock out the last team in the Bay, which is Golden State, which have been very active after losing Clay to Dallas, along with Chris Paul, who was waived, signed in San Antonio. Dario Saric left for Denver. And they replaced those three guys with fairly better, if not at the same level guys, in Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield, and DeAnthony Melton. They did not draft anybody, to my knowledge.
They did not.
But they brought in three decent role players who I think are going to fit in. I think they're actually the prototypical Warriors players that they brought in.
That's fair.
I think they're Warriors.
They're no
players.
Klay Thompson, but I think they would have been good role players 8 years ago, if that's what you're going for.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Buddy Hield's still good.
Look, at the end of the day, with the Warriors, it really doesn't matter who they brought in. It's about what they didn't do, and that's trading for Larry Markkinen. I think that's kind of the big thing. And look, I like we mentioned 2 weeks ago, I understand that the Podziemski thing. I understand he's going to be good, but you can't turn down that opportunity. You're trying to maximize Steph Curry's post-dynasty and trying to keep him in a Warriors jersey for the rest of his career. And doing that is not what you want to do to keep Steph in town. So I'm not sure what Dunleavy and Lakeup's plan was as far as addressing that trade, because in my eyes, I think the trade was fair. It would have been Podziemski and either Moody or Kuminga with 2 or 3 first. They were willing to give up the draft capital. They just didn't want to get rid of Podziemski, and that's all Utah wanted. And they stood pat. They said no. They refused, and at the end of the day, they're not going to be as good now. So it's tough because the pieces they brought in. I mean, Kyle Anderson and Buddy Hield are fine. The DeAnthony Melton pickup will be good. But, I mean, right now, the projected lineup, Steph, Pods, Wiggins, Kuminga, and Draymond.
Mid.
I think Trace Jackson gets in there over Draymond, then you move Kuminga to the bench.
I don't know. It's tough because they've already benched Looney. So I don't know if they're going to start Trace Jackson Davis yet. But he'll probably get starts once Draymond gets suspended. But
for what?
I don't really want to know.
But literally anything.
Look, I think at the end of the day, keeping Andrew Wiggins on this roster is a mistake. It's just withering away into nothing.
Yep.
It's stagnant. It's just
He should have been
old,
gone
it's
years.
used.
When I made these grades, I had them at a B plus, but that was before the marketing thing happened. I'm going to lower him to a C minus,
Yeah,
I'll give it a C.
a C plus. Sorry,
that's pretty
my fault.
significant. I was
C
gonna
plus,
say, yeah.
Yeah.
I lowered him one full grade.
Yeah, I give them a C as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they replaced fairly well, but I think Lowry not coming in is something missed for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we're going to move on to Utah next.
Yes.
And that's a great transition because their big thing was Lowry Markkanen returning on a 5-year extension just a few weeks ago. Besides that, nothing much happening besides Johnny Juzang returning on a 4-year deal. Drew Eubanks signing a 2-year deal. Patty Mills signing a 1-year deal. Svi Mihailuk agreeing to a 4-year deal. Russell Westbrook was waived again for the second time by the Jazz.
Thank God.
In 2 years.
Thank
Hey,
God.
bro, imagine Russ playing with Laurie, though, bro. Oh,
That'd be cool, but like I can't imagine Russ in Utah. That's for sure.
hey, he's already been there twice. So,
Chris Dunn also left. That's how Russ was able to get waived to go to Denver.
yep.
And Omer Ute-7 was waived. I don't know who that is. I heard the Knicks brought him in for a workout.
He was on the Heat when they went to the finals. He was bench player. Barely played.
Okay. But I think the big storyline is Utah's draft. They got Cody Williams in their first pick. Somehow Isaiah Collier fell to them towards the end of the first round.
Yeah.
And they traded up in the second round early on to take Kyle Filipowski, who fell earlier on to them.
They cooked.
Cody Williams is Jalen's brother, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
J-Dub
Okay.
or J-A-Y?
J-Dub.
J-Dub.
Yeah.
Wow, and apparently he's pretty good too.
He's very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Colorado guy.
I don't think he's. I think he's a better player than his brother, but
think so.
based on role,
He's
his
raw.
brother's going to be better.
Yeah, Cody
Right.
is a very
So,
raw player.
Yeah.
He's going to have some work to do.
Yeah.
Man, I
this was-
love this offseason.
Bro, I love talking about the Jazz. I mean, anything Danny Ainge is just their teams are
Smooth
fun,
Jazz.
man, and like they suck on the floor. They won't be anymore, but it just all the moves they make are just so unique and so interesting. And
So
look, I think
intricate.
on all cylinders, I think, like I said, Danny Ainge is cooking up a beautiful 2030s. It's going to happen. The Jazz are going to be a deep contender in the 2030s.
Yeah.
He did it with Boston. He's going to do it again with Utah. So, and look, I don't know what pieces will be there by that time, but look, getting Laurie back is huge for them because now they have a decision to compete, at least make a playoff push now. They didn't really add much as far as free agents go. I really think the big story was just him and the draft picks. And I think that kind of sets them up nicely going forward. The only notable unknown left for Utah is THT.
Yes.
He's currently a free agent. Not sure if he's going to find a team as of right now, just based on the new CBA and the nature of it, but potentially a free agent candidate in March if he doesn't have a team. But projected starting lineup, we got Keontae George, who had a very good summer league. Colin Sexton is still there. Lowry Markkanen at the 3, John Collins at the 4, and Walker Kessler at the 5.
It's a really big front court.
Yes.
I love it.
And they have a deep bench.
They really do. I mean, you got Jordan Clarkson on the bench. You got Taylor Hendricks, who's going to be insanely good.
Yep.
Obviously, Cody Williams, Bryce Sensabaugh from last year.
Yes.
And then even like on your reserves, remember Jason Preston, the kid from Ohio,
Jason Preston.
I don't.
the curly-haired kid.
I have to see a picture.
Yeah, I can show you a picture afterwards. He's on the team as well.
Okay.
So, and then you got obviously Johnny Juzang, Micah Potter, Kyle Filipowski, a lot of just like young, raw, talented guys.
Yeah.
So,
That'll develop.
what do we grade the Jazz offseason?
I think draft alone to get an A.
Draft alone, bro. Come on.
Yeah, to me, this was a near picture perfect offseason. I couldn't give them the A plus because free agency was kind of mid. I gave them an A. I moved it up because I had them at a B plus. I'm going to move them up to an A.
That's fine.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with their offseason. I think just
Agreed.
typical Danny Ainge process.
It's smooth jazz, man. Just like the music.
Yes,
Just
sir.
like the music, you just flow.
I love how that makes no sense in Utah. They just never changed the name when they moved from New Orleans.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So, next team.
We're winding down the teams.
How many more do we have?
I think 5.
Okay, sweet.
4 or 5. This one is a little on the lower side. San Antonio.
I would not say this is the lower side.
Yeah.
I think it's a little low.
They're still going to be bad,
Let's
but
see.
like, yeah.
In your opinion.
All they've done is bring in Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, and drafted Stephon Castle.
I like all three of those moves.
All three of those moves are pretty good.
Yeah.
I love all three of those moves.
Yeah.
We can start with Chris
Maximizing
Paul.
Wemby's development.
Exactly. Start with that.
Start with that. Because right now, I mean, looking at their projected starting lineup, Chris Paul, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I love it.
You have vets and you have the rooks.
The only change I would make, I would start the season out with Stephon Castle on the bench.
I agree.
Yes.
And I would
Harrison
move up
Barnes?
Harris. I would probably put Vassell at the 2 and Harrison Barnes at the 3.
100%.
I think it makes the most sense
Yes.
just because Wemby needs spacing. And I don't think Stephon Castle is going to be as knocked down in the NBA as Harrison Barnes is.
No.
He's been in the league for like 80 years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you want to start with Chris Paul? Go for it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Cook, bro.
Come on
Yeah,
now.
Cook, bro.
Chris
Cook.
Paul, like one of the best point guards that we've seen play the game. Let's just be real. And he has vision like no one else.
Top 3 playmaker ever? Question mark.
Ooh, no.
No, top.
Not top
what?
Top 5.
Top 5 is fair.
That's pushing it, but top 5. Top 5
Top
playmaker
7 at the
ever.
very worst.
Top 7 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll say that. We'll settle with that. And now he's playing with Victor, possibly the next GOAT.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and Chris Paul has so much knowledge of the game. He's just going to feed
The lobs,
Victor
bro.
Wembanyama like it's freaking Thanksgiving, bro. Okay, Victor's going to be eating. That's all I know. And then after that, we got Harrison Barnes, big time veteran presence. He's gonna give you points. He's gonna give you defense. He's gonna give you awareness on the court. All that stuff. What else? What was the last thing? Stephon Castle,
Stephon
right?
Castle, yeah.
I love that pick.
Can I make a bold prediction?
Go for it.
Chris Paul is going to get Zach Collins paid.
Oh,
Ah.
I
He is-
like that.
He is going to get that man paid. 'Cause
I
he's going to
like
get a
it.
lot of second unit run.
That's true.
So I think he's the guy that's gonna love playing with Chris Paul the most. Obviously Wemby will,
Interesting.
but Wemby can kind of cook with anyone.
Right.
I think Zach Collins in specific is
I like that
really
a
going
lot.
to cook. And look, I think with San Antonio, it's not about winning right now. So I think should we prematurely congratulate Chris Paul on being sober from his addiction from the NBA Finals for another year? Are we going to prematurely do that since they're probably not going to make the playoffs?
So
But look, this is all about just strategizing the future, keeping that development going with Wemby, keeping him ramping up those minutes. Because I think that's the one thing, obviously, like outside of lack of strength and everything like that, the one thing that Wemby has that sucks is his conditioning. And
His conditioning,
that's
yeah.
something that needs to improve because he gets gassed.
it's so hard though
It really is.
to be that big and then have to move around
Right.
like that, especially the way he moves, and then to be conditioned with that, with that size that he has. It's
Yeah.
so tough.
It is. It's
People
tough.
don't understand.
It's difficult. That's why I commend guys like Jokic for being so in shape.
Oh yeah,
'Cause he don't get tired at
I'm
all.
telling you, the taller you are, the harder it is. And
Oh, I can confirm. I can confirm.
Exactly.
I get winded so easily.
yeah,
But look, I think this was almost a perfect offseason. Obviously, the only reason why it's not is because I feel like they could have been more aggressive with trades. I still think they can make trades, i.e. like a Cam Johnson, maybe get off of some dead weight or some expensive contracts. Like you can easily get off that Keldon Johnson contract for someone that's going to not hog the ball as much.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I think they were still a little bit more lackluster in free agency. I think they still could have brought other guys in. So I gave them an A-.
okay.
I think it turned out okay. I think they're still going to be really bad this year, but I don't think they're going to be like top 5 lotto bad. I think just outside the play-in, if not in. But that's what I would give them. I don't know what
I give
you
them a
guys
B
think.
plus.
B plus.
I give them a B plus, but like 89.5 type B plus.
Okay.
Like borderline A minus. That's what I give them.
That's fair.
What do you
What
got?
about you?
I'll give it to B plus.
B plus.
B plus.
Yeah.
The only
it's a pretty good.
the only unknown for them is Jetty Osman. If you remember the name,
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Former Cleveland Cavalier.
LeBron maximized that
Jedi
man so
master.
much.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next team.
We have 4 teams
Okay.
left. Pretty
remember-
decent ones.
Try to remember. So we have all that's left is what we have: Denver, we have OKC, we have
Phoenix.
New Orleans, and Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
We're going to go on to New Orleans.
Ooh,
New Orleans,
the Pelicans.
they have added 2 players, and those were Daniel Tice, and then they traded for DeJounte Murray and sent Dyson Daniels, E.J. Liddell and Larry Nance over, as well as Cody Zeller, I think.
Yes.
So wait, they traded
Dyson Daniels, E.J. Liddell,
all of those players,
Larry Nance,
to Atlanta.
and Cody
and
Zeller.
they got DeJounte Murray
and draft picks they sent over as well.
Okay.
And then, of course, they lost Jonas Valanciunas in free agency along with Najee Marshall.
Okay.
This team has no big men. This team has nobody. They're going to start Daniel Tice at their starting five.
Oh,
That's
don't
scary.
discount Yves Missi.
He's not ready.
He's not.
He's not ready.
I know, but Yves Missi.
It was still a risky pick to begin with.
So good.
Projected, you say that's his same comeback
So
every
good.
time.
What?
So good.
That they're so good. Like,
So good.
Projected starting five, you got DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Daniel Tice.
Wow.
So right now, I do think, I really don't know. I low-key think you could probably play Zion at the five and put Herb Jones in the starting lineup. They could. I'm not saying they will.
Yeah.
But this team needs a center. This team needs like a starting caliber center.
Yeah.
And they need it quickly. Otherwise, this team's going to fizzle out. It's kind of like, I don't know.
They might be able to take advantage with this smaller-ish lineup. I feel like Daniel Tice is he runs the floor very well, and of course, we know Zion does that extremely well also.
Yeah.
So we could see this team take advantage of their size in ways that we haven't seen a small ball team take advantage before.
Right.
Because we usually see them take advantage shooting threes and stuff like that, but this team seems to be like more fast-paced. So we could see that.
There's one major winner from the Pelicans offseason. Do you know who it is? There's one
DeJounte.
clear-cut winner. No. It's not DeJounte Murray.
Is it a player or
it is
a
player.
coach?
There is one clear-cut winner. This guy is over the moon right now.
Did he get paid?
No.
Someone that got paid? No.
Is it someone that's already on the team?
Obviously.
I'm either thinking
Lonzo Ball.
I'm either thinking
He's on the
Herb.
I know.
I'm either thinking Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, or Jordan Hawkins.
It's none of those three.
Brandon Ingram.
Any guesses for you, sir?
Zion Williams.
He lost weight.
It's not Zion Williamson.
It can't be Brandon Ingram.
I'm just gonna say it.
Say it.
It's CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
Now that DeJounte Murray is there,
He goes back to his natural role.
does not have to hog the ball. He does not have to jack up these threes and try and get like 17 assists in a game because he looked awful last year and even the year before that when he got there.
Yeah.
So I think now you can maximize CJ McCollum. You don't have to burn him as much so he won't get hurt. And look, I think the wealth is going to be evenly spread out now with this Pelicans team that maybe, because I mean, I think pretty much everyone gets hurt on this fucking team, bro. It's like, it's nuts. And even if someone does go down, your bench unit, bro, you got Alvarado still there. You got Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Jordan Hawkins is still there. So this team, low-key, could cook.
They could.
They could cook. I think if they get a better big man at the five, this team could be well on their way to contending.
I like this team a lot.
This team is looking up.
I think DeJounte was just the finishing touch. Actually, no, maybe a center would be the finishing touch. But still, close.
I think the finishing touch would be getting a better star for Brandon Ingram.
Yes.
Okay.
I think they need to move him.
Like what type of guy?
It's a great question.
small forward.
It's a great question, Your Honor. Kevin Durant.
Oh, well, come on. Everyone wants Kevin Durant, but not everyone's going to get him.
Well, that's the Pelicans had the best offer for Kevin Durant, but he wanted to go to Phoenix, so we sent him to Phoenix.
Okay.
The Pelicans offered us 5 first-round picks plus Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Dyson Daniels. I would have taken that deal in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's, as far as the Pelicans offseason goes, what do we give them?
I think it's a B.
I gave them a B+.
B minus. You said
Yeah.
B plus?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it could have been a little bit better.
They gave up a lot for DeJounte, so
They fleeced the Hawks.
yeah.
Yes.
They fleeced the Hawks. No,
That's why
no,
it's a
I
B.
think it was like
It's a B.
no first-round picks, I think, or one,
2.
2.
Oh, okay.
2.
So they got a third of those picks from Mikal Bridges.
Thank you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's go for an
Okay, yeah.
all-star.
Correct.
I'm hype.
Yeah.
All right, next team.
Okay. Let's go to Phoenix. This is just an off-season building around your core with all role players. Some good, some bad, in my opinion. So Bol returns on a 1-year deal.
Yes.
Along with Damian Lee. Josh Okogie gets a 2-year deal.
Mid.
Royce O'Neal gets a 4-year deal.
Yes, my guy.
Tyus Jones signs on a 1-year deal.
Oh my goodness.
Monte Morris signs on a deal.
Oh
1-year deal.
goodness.
Mason Plumlee signs on a 1-year deal.
I've never heard of this many mid players signing to a 1-year deal in my life.
EJ Liddell joins from the Hawks via trade, and they lose Eric Gordon, David Roddy, and Drew Eubanks.
Wow.
This is I lied when I was talking about, I think it was the Hawks last time. This is the most vanilla offseason I think we've ever had.
Every
Bro.
player is semi bad. Besides, I think Royce and Tyus Jones.
Royce O'Neal is the
I like
only
Royce.
non-semi-bad
Exactly.
player. Like, Royce O'Neal is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyus Jones gets to be getting more than a 1 year deal.
Bro, look,
New
listen.
CBA. It's
That
the
might
scope
have
of the
been.
NBA.
This might have been the all NBA mid lineup that you just listed out right here.
Right.
Because oh my goodness,
Yeah.
doesn't get more mid than that.
No.
They can't do anything. This is what they did.
This is like the Knicks without the power of friendship.
Yeah, but they excuse me. No, but they filled out the roster what they needed to do. But
No,
it's just not with players that you want to see play.
Did they really? They just Matt Ishbia decided to say, okay, let's run it back. Let's
Yeah,
go. We
literally.
got swept.
Yeah.
But let's run it back. We got Kevin Durant on the roster.
That's insane.
This is a C minus.
Look, this team's been fucking doomed since they traded for Bradley fucking Beal. Yeah, I mean, right now, projected starting five: Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Kevin Durant, Yusuf Nurkic. Again, this team is one annual KD January injury away from going back to the play-in. This team is no different than before. I guess they didn't get worse, so I'll give them that. So I'll be nice. I'll give them like a B minus.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stick with that same sort of logic, but except since it's so mid, I'm gonna go with a 75%,
Which is
a C,
A C.
right in the middle.
Honestly,
minus.
yeah.
A
That
C.
was like
75.
that's like vanilla ice cream without the sugar.
Yeah. Yeah. Oof.
It's just,
Abomination.
you know what it's like? My parents always told me, like, you know those like big ass like horse pills they have to take sometimes? It's like before they coated them.
Yep.
Like, ugh, no.
Oh yeah.
That's
Okay.
what it reminds me of. So good job, Matt Ishbia. You're running this team into the fucking ground.
All right. I'm gonna get into my best offseason in the West.
Ooh.
That is the Thunder.
Okay.
T Hunter.
They have brought in 4 players that are all going to contribute right away to this team.
Okay.
First off, with their re-signees, they brought back Stroke and Joe,
Okay.
Okay.
my favorite player.
We're back. We're
My,
back.
my
Insane,
favorite
bro.
player.
Honestly, we're so forward after that.
Stroke and Joe, Isaiah Joe.
Okay, continue.
Aaron Wiggins, both got 4-year and 5-year.
Aaron Wiggins is so slept on, man.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping on him.
Yeah.
Ayo.
I'll sleep. Okay, go ahead.
Pause.
Stroke and Joe's joining you.
Okay.
bro.
Why do you have to make it weird?
Why, bro?
Like, bro.
And then their biggest additions, 2 beautiful white men,
What?
gifted basketball players.
You know Hartenstein's not white, right?
Oh yes,
This
he's
man.
so right. I am sorry,
He's
but
bright.
two of my favorite basketball players.
Okay.
Mainly Isaiah Hartenstein on the 3-year deal from my Knicks. Sad times, but he's going to a really good team in another conference, so we don't have to see him in the Eastern Conference Finals,
You're not getting there either, so it doesn't matter.
the Eastern Conference semifinals,
You're still not getting
the Eastern Conference quarterfinals.
the Eastern Conference lottery.
I'm dead.
And then they fleeced the Chicago Bulls for Alex Caruso without giving up any draft capital. All they gave up was someone named Josh Giddey.
Bro, I'm sorry. This trade was so bad. Why didn't Adam Silver veto this? Like, bro, this trade was so unfair.
What, the Caruso Giddy?
Like, bro, how do you not get a pick? I cannot process it. I just can't. How do you not get a pick from fucking Sam Presti? This dude's got picks for days. Like, his whole house is made out of first round picks. Literally, he's got everything.
I thought that's the Nets' house.
Well, it will be ours once Sam Presti's done drafting all
and
those
Utah,
guys.
Danny Ainge, Sean Marks,
And Sam Presti.
and Sen can all build
That's
an
the big
apartment
three.
complex of first-round picks.
Yeah, we have a bunch of 8th graders, 7th graders, everyone that's going to turn good in like 6 to 8 years. But look, I mean,
This is an A-plus offseason, I will say.
yeah, this
Yeah.
offseason was
It's A
very
minus.
good.
Yeah.
Why A minus? I'm curious because this offseason was pretty perfect.
Because I'm sleeping on Aaron. I'm not messing with Stroke and Joe.
Okay, I agree on that.
What?
We mess with Isaiah Joe, but when you say Stroke and Joe, it just
Yeah.
What?
the
I
vibes
don't
are
know who
very
it
weird.
is. Yeah.
We're getting him on the pod, and that's where we're going.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
I think the only negative of this offseason is just that Topic is hurt.
Ah,
think
yes,
that's
they
the only
drafted
thing.
Topic.
I think that's the
forget
only
about that.
negative of this offseason. Right now, they're projected starting 5. You got, I'll go back to front. So we got Isaiah Hartenstein at the 5, Chet at the 4, which I think is where he belongs, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Lou Dort at the 3, J-Dub at the 2, also where he belongs. And at point guard, bro, like my screen is so bright. There's so much aura in the name Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I'm really dying.
I don't.
I thought you were actually like my screen's so bright. What am I?
I have one. I don't think J-Dub should be shooting guard. I think that's Caruso.
Bro,
And then you move J-Dub to small forward. And
I
Dort's a
agree.
bench guy.
Well, let me tell you this. J-Dub is like a slight, like, picture me, but slightly heavier.
How is J-Dub going from a power forward to a shooting guard?
He's 6'5", bro.
But
He's like 6'6".
Yeah, he's
yeah,
kind of
he's
like that.
big.
He's just
shooting guard.
Just picture me, but darker and way heavier and way more jacked.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't see shooting guard.
But that's the thing. The shooting guard doesn't always need to shoot well. Look at Allen Iverson.
I know.
Just made a living off of that. Plus,
You're gonna get a lot of hate for that one.
who?
You
For what?
for saying Allen Iverson's a bad shooter.
I mean, it's true. It's
Yeah,
like,
but still, you're
one of the greatest guards ever is just he was not a good shooter.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what it is. Caruso, I see as the Malik Monk. Very good to start, but you don't have to start
Yes.
him. Remember, you need a complete team. So, look, this, in my opinion, is the only other offseason. I think this was the second best offseason in the NBA. I think this was just below Indiana's, and I will give them an A+ still.
Wow.
That's what I think,
What did you
because
I said A-. I'm
'cause
sticking with that.
the only reason why I think it's below Indiana's is because, look, he's good. My God, that Hartenstein contract is a fat overpay.
I agree with that, and I really, honestly, I don't think he's going to be as good as we think.
Yeah, no, he's peaked. I don't like. He'll obviously be maximized. He's gonna be very good, but I don't see him getting much better than what we saw last year.
I don't see him getting better at all.
And that's a concern because the Pacers did expose him in the second half of that series.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to work on. But look, the Thunder got depth. I mean, Case and Wallace, keep an eye out on him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to be
good.
insanely
Another
sane.
high draft pick of theirs from last year.
Yes, and they have tradable contracts. Like I'm sure Kenrich Williams is going to get moved.
Yep.
They'll probably move off
I
of
would think so.
just really anyone. Maybe the other Jalen Williams can go. Jay Will, as you will. But very good offseason for OKC. Let's get into the final boss.
What?
Russell Westbrook.
I think we're out of teams.
Stop the cap.
I don't
Stop
have
the
any
cap.
other teams on my list
Jante Porter.
besides a team called the
Come on, bro.
Revned Stuggin, which
Wait.
backwards spells Denver Nuggets.
No, it's actually the Stegen.
Stegen Revned.
Yes, the Denver Nuggets, the Denver Nuggles.
All they have done is bring back DeAndre Jordan. They brought in Dario Saric and Russell Westbrook on 2-year deals.
Wow.
And they lost
Wow.
KCP to the Magic and Reggie Jackson to the Hornets. And they also drafted Deron Holmes, who unfortunately tore his Achilles in his first Summer League game.
Pour one out for the bro,
So
man.
we'll be out until next season, presumably, but is a very high upside pick regardless when he comes back.
All I have to say is, wow. What an offseason.
Is it
for
an
the Denver
A++?
Nuggets. Bro, what did you think it was going to be?
I knew it was going to be an A+ for him.
This is about
Obviously.
as close as it gets to 100 because nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? But this is about as close as it gets to perfect, okay? First of all, let's just talk about Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
And we can just end at Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Great job, Denver Nuggets, for picking up Russ. Let's just give a round of applause for that. Good job. And let's move on. Tyler, what do you think?
I'm a bit perplexed by Denver's offseason. I can't lie. Because there's a lot of conflicting things. Like salary dumping Reggie Jackson was a choice, whereas now they are interested in Vasilij Micic. You could have gotten him back for Reggie Jackson because you traded him to Charlotte. So like that seemed kind of a waste. It almost seems like they're a team. The Kroenkes are very scared of the cap, the new CBA. That's why they didn't re-sign KCP. That's why they didn't re-sign Bruce Brown last year. So obviously a loss there. Christian Brown will step up in his place. Projected starting 5 is about as what you would expect. Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. When you got Jokic, you always got a chance, right? I think we all can agree on that. I think the Dario Saric pickup was big.
Yes.
But the pressure's now really on the front office because Deron Holmes was going to be in that sort of role with Saric. Now the pressure falls on Zeke Naji, and Zeke Naji is on a tradable contract. But who do you get back for him? That's the tough part about the new CBA. because he's not going to play in the playoffs. I think we all know this. So, and obviously your bench unit, Russell Westbrook, Peyton Watson are guarantees to play. If Julian Strawther can stay healthy, then he'll be in there as well. But he went through a lot of injuries last year. And obviously Sarge will get playoff minutes as well. But yeah, as far as their offseason goes, it wasn't great, if I'm being brutally honest. I think drafting Deron Holmes is still good. It just sucks that he got hurt. Feel bad for the kid. But I think Dario Saric and Russell Westbrook's contracts were net positives. They're cheap. They're low risk. They're not going to come back to bite you in the ass. But obviously, it does suck losing that veteran championship presence from KCP. Reggie Jackson, it's fine. But I was a little bit more generous with Denver. I kind of gave them a B because I do see the upside with this team. I think they're a little bit more flexible now in the sense of, look, you have those tradable contracts in Zeke Naji, and Jalen Pickett obviously now becomes major expendable since you have, even like if they convert Trey Alexander to a standard deal. But look, I think the real question mark for Denver will be next offseason, because one bad season from Michael Porter or Jamal Murray could raise some brows.
Oof.
And that's just all. And that's not a knock on them. It's a knock on the CBA. When Michael Porter got that max contract, that was before anyone even thought the CBA would even come about. So it's not his fault. But I have faith in this team. I think they're going to be just fine. And I'll give them a B.
Yeah.
I'll give a B+.
Okay.
B+.
I definitely think they're better than last year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it really depends on health.
They are a little better. I think
Yeah.
KCP's loss is massive.
It really is.
But I think they brought in guys. If Deron Holmes was healthy, I think I would go A-. But
Yeah.
because you have a perfect, pretty good backup unit.
I think it's more of a trade-off with the KCP thing because he is older.
Yeah.
He did get hurt last year. Christian Brown, I think, is a better defender than KCP, but I think KCP is better offensively. But Christian Brown's three ball's got to come along. So we'll see if it does, and I think it will. But
All right.
What team is Jeff Green on, really quick?
Houston Rockets.
Okay. It would have been nice if he was on the Nuggets, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
couldn't retain
anyways.
him. They also do have Vlatko Čančar coming back he missed the entirety of last season with torn ACL.
Yeah.
So he could get either moved or he'll get some spot minutes here and there. But yeah, we've done all 30 teams.
Before we conclude, we got to revisit Philly because they just picked up Gershon Yabusele.
That's right, they did.
And I think that adds to their A+ offseason
Still an A+.
mighty well.
What did I give them? I gave them an A. I'm
Plus.
still going to keep it at an A.
no plus?
No plus.
Did you give anyone an A plus?
I gave the Pacers and I gave the Thunder an A plus.
Wow.
Those are the two best off seasons in my opinion.
I could have. Gershon only signed for $2 million. I don't know why the Knicks couldn't have given him that, or Denver.
Because they got OG. They're the
Knicks,
same player.
The Knicks are hard capped. They can't sign anyone.
But Philly, if I was gonna choose another team besides those two, it was definitely Philly.
I think Cleveland would have been the perfect spot
Yes.
for him. He
That's
needed to
true.
go there. Cleveland or Toronto, I think, would have been the perfect
I think
spot.
he's gonna be that backup. He's not starting.
Philly has
Yeah.
way too many players now.
They really do.
It's like, what do you do with all those guys?
That's a great question, but he's not going to play much. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I wish you
I
would
hope
get the
he
opportunity.
plays so well.
I think he'll get the opportunity.
No, but like more, I'm talking about like 20 plus minutes. a
Oh
game.
no chance. He would
I
have had to go,
wish.
he would have had to go to us for that.
Yeah.
But we obviously don't need him. He's too good for us, I think. So, but yeah, I'm going to keep him at an A still. I don't remember
Yeah.
why I gave them an A, not an A plus, but I think it's because I was not thrilled outside of the Paul George. I think that was the only thing. I think they lost some pieces that they should have kept.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is what it is. How do we feel after going through all 30 teams?
Exhausted.
I think this is the longest recorded segment we've had. This is
No,
an
honestly.
hour and 8
I
minutes.
am-
Yeah, we gotta.
exhausted.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this one
I
up.
went through too many player names,
Yeah.
and that's
You were
it.
shot.
It's
So-
okay. I enjoy it.
So this
For
is
you.
So this is why we love the magic of media and film, because we're going to record the last segment's shower thoughts in the outro tomorrow at the time of recording. So it'll be an entire day for us, but for you guys, it'll literally only be within the snap of a finger. So any final thoughts on this before we move on?
Thanos.
No,
All right. Well,
let's go.
we'll see y'all tomorrow. And we're back. It's the next day. Well, it's like 4 seconds for y'all. That's the magic of movie editing, of podcasting, all that stuff. But lads, it's a new day. How we feeling?
Good, good.
Cold.
Yeah.
What you guys didn't get to see was that Tyler took about 5 minutes to find a nice snap.
Yep.
But he got it. So.
Yeah, for some reason, my hands get really cold. I lose like all the circulation, and it just was like white and numb. So yeah, we can. I just can't snap right now. There we go. That was a good one. That was a really good one. So, but yeah. What was even colder was the ice bath that Antoine just took about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Thoughts on that? How about bath thoughts?
Cold.
Instead of shower thoughts.
Yeah.
Ice bath thoughts.
Everybody joined the bath with me.
Okay.
That did
like
not
what?
Why do you have to make it so weird? Like,
now we're going from the bath with me to the shower with Gia.
Oh, what an upgrade. That is an upgrade, actually.
Anyways, shower thoughts, right?
Yep.
All right. The question is, think deeply.
Okay.
The question is, does the Olympics / FIBA make the NBA more competitive or less competitive? Think of this one. I can repeat it if you want.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Is it like makes the competitive like when they're playing FIBA rules or when they're playing in the NBA?
In the NBA.
Okay.
So does the NBA sending players to play in the Olympics and in FIBA, does that actually make the NBA itself a more competitive league? What do you think?
I'll let you answer that first, Antoine. I'll cook up something in about a minute or two. I gotta rack some brain cells together right now.
I have no idea if that benefits the NBA because I feel like there's a significant drop off in teams that are good talent-wise when you go play in the FIBA World Cup and you play in the Olympics. Besides Team USA, Spain, Serbia. There's good players on other teams that are like stars in the NBA, like maybe like one or two on like smaller teams.
Right.
But compared to NBA level teams, I would think they would probably beat them all. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I don't know how good the other FIBA teams are, and the Olympic teams this year were pretty decent. But I don't know. I don't think it makes it. I think the NBA is the most competitive league in the world for basketball.
Right.
I think nothing beats it talent-wise right now. Every team has maybe one or two emerging stars that could be probably significantly significant better players probably in like the EuroLeague, depending on like other factors. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it makes the NBA. I think the NBA.
I don't think people can hear you.
I think the NBA, like producing like their players and everything, makes Olympics and FIBA because the majority of the players in those competitions are from the NBA.
Okay.
So the NBA is producing those players that are going into play for, like, the good players. Like, there are some good international players that are going to star on their teams, but the majority of the players that are playing for, like, Canada, USA, Serbia, Spain, all of France are all NBA-born players, or NBA-bred players.
Now, think of it. I want you to think of it from a very outside-the-box perspective, because the NBA players going overseas now, and they're playing in Olympic games, playing in FIBA games. There's now a heightened understanding, or a heightened, just a heightened understanding of the game of basketball, right? So more people are seeing basketball and seeing these amazing athletes play. And so that being said, I think that the next generation of athletes that are watching these players play, they may become inspired to play basketball. And so therefore, that I think actually does impact the competitiveness of the NBA, if not now, but in the future. Do you see where I'm going with that? What do you think about that?
So you're saying that people growing up watching them that want to play basketball, it helps? I mean, yes, of course.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of mixed. So you're saying that the Olympics and FIBA benefit the NBA competitively.
Yeah.
How so if they're completely different competitions?
Right. Tyler, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah. So I disagree. I don't think it makes the NBA more competitive at all.
Yeah.
Because, look, I mean, you see, look at the foul baiters, for example. You look at, like, an Embiid or or anyone that just sort of flops and tries to get like calls, like let's say Trae Young played in the Olympics or whatever, they're not going to get the calls, right? So you'd think that means they'd start to play more like, ethical, but no, because when you go back to the NBA, you're just going to do the same shit as before, and you're just going to adjust. You're not going to adjust any changes because you're only playing in FIBA for a few games compared to a full 82 game season.
Right.
And look, at the end of the day, it's just like the NBA kind of abides by its own rules. Everyone knows those rules. They grow up with those rules. I think the only thing that it does make it more competitive for is the players coming over from Europe. Because you look at a lot of the EuroLeague MVPs over the past few years, like Mike James, Sasha Vezenkov, the EuroLeague MVPs just cannot find their stride in the NBA because the game's totally different. That's not the style of basketball they're acclimated to. You only find these rare cases like a Giannis or a Jokic or a Wemby that can just plug and play into any sort of rules or anything like that. And I think with the NBA, it doesn't make it any more competitive because I don't think the NBA's super talented right now. It's competitive enough as it is.
Yeah.
I don't think FIBA really does anything like that.
Okay.
I think it just kind of...
It's just neutral.
It's just very neutral.
Okay.
Because when you go play FIBA, it just, the U.S. dominates. It's kind of really what you expect. Maybe 2 or 3 countries will have a dogfight against each other, and then it's kind of that. Because once you go back to the NBA, it's just you go back to your systems. No more like crazy stacked teams or anything like that. And that's where you'll kind of see, like, you'll see games like we saw last year. Remember that Celtics-Pistons game that kind of went down to the wire?
Yeah.
It really doesn't have an effect on FIBA or anything like that. I think the only effect it could have is maybe just on the players themselves because they're tired because they don't have a full offseason. But as far as it goes, I don't really think FIBA does much. I think FIBA brings out and emphasizes a lot of the wrongs in the NBA.
Okay.
Because the way they play in FIBA is just way more ethical than in the NBA. The players are... I don't want to say all of them are soft, but it favors the player more. Whereas, they don't reward physicality.
Yeah.
Superstars get the calls, they get the benefit of the doubt and all that stuff. But in FIBA, they don't give a shit. It's just, it is what it is. So that's kind of how I see it personally.
Okay. Let me go even further outside of the box.
Okay.
With that same question. I brought up this question because we see when American players go play for the Olympics, right? We see a lot of camaraderie. There you go. That's the word. A lot of camaraderie between the teammates, right?
English for Geo.
Yeah. So now, players start, developing closer relationships with each other, which could potentially lead to them teaming up in the NBA.
Right.
So now think of it from that perspective. Like, in the 2008 Olympics, we saw Wade and Braun team up, and they're like, okay, we like to play with each other. Let's actually go play with each other in Miami in like 2 years from now.
Right.
So like stuff like that, or even I heard this podcast. I forgot which podcast it was, where LeBron James and everyone else on the team for the Olympics, I think in 2012, encouraged James Harden to actually leave the Thunder.
Yeah.
They're like, you're a good player. You should leave the Thunder. And he ended up leaving.
Right.
So like there's a lot of influence when all these great players come together. So in that way, look at it in that way. Could that make the NBA more competitive or less competitive?
I think you answered it for yourself in the sense that I think for the player, it just gives them better opportunities.
Okay.
But those opportunities can bring down competitiveness. It can also raise competitiveness. Because, like the big three forming in Miami, like that's not going to make anything competitive. They're just going to dominate. So, and I know they lost 2 finals, but like, you can't predict that at the time. But I guess there could be certain circumstances where it would kind of raise the competitiveness, but I still just can't really see it as far as the camaraderie goes, because it's just about teaming up.
Right.
And then once you team up, competitiveness is just going to decrease because there's no one on the level of these super teams as far as everything goes. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it changes much, if I'm being honest with you. I think FIBA is just something different for athletes to just go try and do. It's basically just an all-star game with trying, because that's essentially what it is. I think if the rosters weren't so ungodly stacked, I think it would be a lot more competitive as far as FIBA goes. But I could see some parts of it. Like we saw last year during the World Cup when Mikal Bridges played with Jalen Brunson, and then that made Nets-Knicks games kind of more competitive between them personally, but not really the teams. So I can't really see it as much personally.
Okay. Well, I have a bold prediction.
Okay.
I think I mentioned this earlier in the podcast.
Yeah.
But I think Anthony Edwards and Kevin Durant are going to team up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You did say
We'll see.
Simply based on how I saw all over social media how basically Anthony Edwards is the little brother to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere where he was going.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that's going to happen. I do.
It could. I still don't think Minnesota's where he'll go.
I definitely think so, bro.
I don't know. They'd have to get rid of Rudy first. I don't think KD wants to play with him.
No?
No.
Yeah, maybe.
I still think he's destined for one of three teams on his list is probably going to be Miami, New Orleans, or return to Brooklyn if we're competitive again. I think those are the only places. Or OKC. He could always make a return when they're ready to ring chase. So, because OKC's on the up. But
it's possible.
we'll have to see when the time comes. But
Quick little follow-up question.
go for it.
Can the NBA continue to promote the sport of basketball in other countries while also maintaining its dominance as the number one basketball league in the world?
Well, you answer that one, Antoine.
You want me to repeat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can the NBA continue to promote the sport of basketball in other countries while also maintaining its dominance as the number one sports league in the world?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been doing that. I mean, you've been seeing the international games. Definitely think they got to play more games abroad like the NFL does. But I don't think they should make it so ecstatic. Also, the NFL is a shorter season. So it's only usually one game, and then other teams travel. But, it's big in Asia. They love basketball. The game in France this past year is going to be a game in Mexico City next year. Everybody knows the NBA for that. Of course, people that live abroad know their teams in Europe, down south. They have NBA players that come play there, towards the end of their retirement, or they go play after that at the end of their career because they want to continue, and they don't get anything in the NBA. But I think that they've been expanding pretty well, I think, internationally.
Right.
I think a big thing could be definitely incorporating more international games.
Okay.
Preferably, probably in places where their fan base is strong, where they know. I mean, I'm sure if they do go internationally, besides like the countries they've been, they're going to have sold out that game or multiple games, depending on who they have, playing abroad. But
what if they called it the IBA, the International Basketball Association?
They can't do that. It's just there's too many teams in our own country to add more teams to internationally.
No, but like it's separate though. So like it's the IBA, and under the IBA umbrella, there's the NBA in America. Then there's the NBA in this country, that country, this country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it would be fun for the NBA and FIBA to team up for a tournament like some things like the in-season tournament. I don't think merging the two conferences together wouldn't make any sense.
Okay.
I think having a tournament would definitely help expand them internationally as well.
Yeah.
Anything international, like with playing games or partnering up with like FIBA for, anything. If it's tournaments, they can do a lot of things. But of course, people would want to see games against like Barcelona and an NBA team, Madrid, other teams. I know those are the two top teams off the top of my head.
Like games that are worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like exhibition.
Yeah. You don't want to be playing teams in Europe that are going to be blowouts.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say that the bad team in Europe can't beat the good team in the NBA? But, I'm always going to say the NBA team's going to win that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. Actually, no, Tyler. Do you have any weigh-in thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think I kind of think it's just like the NBA is always going to be on top.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of media-wise. I think that kind of carries it regardless of the talent level.
Gotcha.
But I do think they need to expand more as far as, we saw last year only a couple international games in preseason. The Nets and Cavs played in Paris. I think they can do more. Right? They have the money for it. They definitely, and with the new TV deal, I think it's huge for like NBC to have a game, televised, if they're playing in London or South Africa or Australia or wherever. So, yeah, I think I know Adam Silver is contemplating doing a tournament with FIBA. whether FIBA wants to do it or not, with the EuroLeague and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think the NBA is always going to remain on top. I think we all can agree on that. It's always going to happen.
Well, now, what can they do? What can the NBA do to not be on top anymore? Like
not be on top?
They're always going to.
Like, how can they mess that up?
To mess that up, I don't even know.
Just a big corruption scandal.
There would need to be
Something
a huge scandal which results in losses of major money where teams would have to fold. That would be the only thing.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think
something like that.
It would take a lot. It would take an absolute shot in the dark, so small percentage wise for the NBA to fail.
Yeah.
And even when they fail, they lost so much money during COVID, and they're still
definitely total bankruptcy. If there is some kind of big scandal with multiple owners going into maybe 10 or more teams, you have an issue there.
Not really though, because they can just easily get them out and bring in new owners. Because the NBA, keep in mind, it's an association. It's not a league. So there's more. The players have a lot to say as far as that goes. And it's not all. That's why they're not even called owners. They're called governors.
Yeah.
So they don't have that full power. That's why we saw Sarver got removed as the Suns owner. So, and that's why he was forced to sell the team to Matt Ishby and all that stuff. So we've seen plenty of times with scandals like that. So I think it would have to come from the top. It would have to be from the commissioner.
Yeah.
And it would have to be some sketchy shit just going on in the league office. And that's just never going to happen. At least not in our lifetime. Maybe 3 million years down the line it could.
And even if it does happen, they have enough resources, connections, and money to cover up whatever goes on.
They'll be totally okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, pretty good shower thoughts.
Conclusion.
I like that one.
Yeah,
so,
it was interesting.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think down in the comments below.
Yeah.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of episode 19 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Gio, it's that time in the video. What do the people comment at home that are still with us?
Comment Thanos.
Thanos? The
Or
snap.
scam. For the list we read off as a scam.
Scam.
The list we read off as a scam.
The point guards.
Oh.
You could say scam.
Comment hater.
Hater?
Haters.
I like
Comment
scam.
Thanos and hater. One of the two and are acceptable.
Yeah.
So
Or you can comment Russ top 5.
No, it's just not true. But yeah, that's the end of episode 19. We'll probably think of something for episode 20. We'll bang our brain cells together and think of whatever. As far as anything in the NBA going on, I don't really think anything's really on the docket this week as far as anything. So we could do some more predictions or anything like that. I'll think of something. We can rank stuff. It'll be more of a fun episode.
Maybe we could do a bold predictions episode.
We could. I mean, we're going to do our predictions right before the season starts.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have too repetitiveness, but
Fair. Okay.
we shall see.
We'll see what happens.
Lads, anything else from you guys?
No. I want to get into my guest the player.
Yeah, we're about to record shorts after this, which you guys can check out every day. But if you guys did enjoy today's episode, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. If by the time this episode comes out, we could be at 2,500, we could be almost there. So I guess you'll just see in real time. Turn on the notification bell. That way you're notified every single time we upload, which is every single day. If you're on Spotify, be sure to follow us on there. Give us a 5-star rating, answer the poll. Follow us at Floor Spacer Pod on the usual suspects. You can. I'll put our link tree in the description. It has everything that needs to be there. And yeah, follow us on our personal socials, which are also down below in the description. Get Gio to 1 million Twitter followers. Actually, got a quick shout out to Dennis Smith Jr. and Nasir Little, showing love to my Royce O'Neal tweet yesterday.
Yeah.
Shout out NBA University as well.
Let's go.
So that was pretty cool. And if any NBA player if any NBA players ever watching and wants to come on the podcast, please, we would love to have you on. It would be our honor. You could either pull up or we could do Zoom or whatever. And yeah, let us know who you guys would want to see on the show. But as far as that goes, we hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We love you all endlessly. And we'll see you all next week in episode 20. Peace out.